What is up, everybody? Greetings and happy Thursday. What's up, Atomic Runner? It is already Thursday. Who would have thought? Time flies, does it not? Hey, what's up, man? Happy Thursday to you. Itinerant Soldier, welcome, welcome. Welcome, of course, as always, to VOD viewers, lurkers in chat, and everybody else. It is time for more Metroid. Yeah, this week has been a blur. I'm not sure even that's accurate, but yeah, it's weird. On one hand, it's like, wow, it's already Thursday. Meanwhile, I've had that, like, what a week, huh, Captain? It's only Wednesday, like, going on since about Tuesday morning this week. I don't know. It's been a very intense week at work for me, and it's been a unusually busy week outside of work, I would say, as well. I've had some relatively speaking very mild but slight goings on with my bicycle. No issues per se, thankfully, but I had to drop my bike off for service. Basically, so I got a new bicycle a couple of weeks back, for those who may have missed that part. And it's great. I'm happy with that. But there were a few things that, like, they didn't, there were like some stuff they were supposed to mount on the bike that they didn't have in stock. And they're like, well, you know, you can come back, like, bring the bike with you home, come back in a week or two when we have this stuff in stock and we'll fix it up. So I went to drop my bike off on Friday, and I think they basically said, like, well, we're not going to have time to do this before the weekend, so you might as well, like, you can leave the bike if you want, but you'll be without a bike for the weekend. So I said, all right, well, I'll just come back next week. So I came back on Tuesday, I think, this week, and no, I think it was yesterday. Yeah, because I was kind of busy with work, so it was, like, hard to find a good time to actually do that. But I left the bike yesterday morning, and I came back after work, and as it turns out, like, well, we didn't have time to do it. So I had to go back. Like, basically, what was supposed to be a routine just drop-off pickup ended up taking 3 visits to the bike shop. But it's all good now. It's all over and done with. It's fine. I wasn't particularly inconvenienced by it. It's just funny how nothing, I guess, can go quite as smoothly as you would want when it comes to me and bicycles. But hey, I have a new bike, and so far I've been very, very pleased with it. So I got my winter tires on now. That was one of the things that we were like, might as well. We had like our first morning with below 0 temperatures. So welcome to Sweden. It's about time to, I mean, or, like, I could do fine without winter tires for a couple of weeks probably, but I'd rather, you know, if I can save myself another trip to the bike shop, I might as well. And I also had to stop by I had to make an appointment at the hospital for a thing. Like, it's just been a bunch of minor things here and there, in addition to finding time to work out, to draw, to build Gundams, and to stream. It's just been a very busy schedule for a few weeks, honestly, but especially this week. It is not an electric assisted bike. The one I had before was, and I was super happy with it, but frankly, between it being a little too appealing to steal, apparently, but also the fact that it's like, having, like, electric assistance is super convenient. It's like an amazing quality of life thing. But I kind of need the exercise anyway, and I don't really go on longer bike trips. Like, when I had my old one, I used to keep the assistant on, like, a low level anyway. And frankly, like, with my new bicycle, I haven't noticed that much of a difference. Like, the electric assistance is not unnoticeable by any means, but it's like fairly subtle unless you really crank it up. And obviously, when you don't have a big motor and a big battery and shit, like the bike itself is much lighter and like easier to kind of handle. So I mean, I like my old bike a lot, but I'm very happy with this one too. So I mean, it's still a high quality, modern new bike. So it runs smoothly, easy to ride. I don't know. It's got a bell on it. It's got brakes, pedals, everything you need. So it's pretty cool. But it has definitely been a bit of a challenge to kind of figure out my daily exercise regimen when I don't... like, I travel as much going to and from the office, but I don't get the same amount of exercise as I would walking. I don't spend as much time on the move and all of that, so... granted, I have been starting to work out. We have like a gym at the office that I go to 2-3 times a week. So, you know, I'm making the most of it, but definitely just some slight changes to my everyday schedule. But anyway, I'm not sure you're tuning in for updates on my life story here, but rather to play some video games. And I was thinking right as I was starting the stream, like, you know what? This time I think we should try to get into it because we've got a lot of Metroid to play, probably. Like, I don't know how long Dread is, but I feel like based on collecting percentages, based on suit upgrades, based on map discovery, like, it doesn't really feel like we're heading towards the end game. We've made significant progress, but I don't feel... like, it could go either way. We could finish tonight, I don't know, but it could also be another, like, 2 streams. You'll know you're close to the end. I mean, I think that's usually the case, but it can be hard to say if you're not talking about this game in particular, but in any situation in a game like this, it can be hard to tell if you're at 50% or if you're at 75%. Once you get to 80%, 90%, it usually is a little more clear, yes. But anyway, do I have anything else I need to talk about? I don't know. I don't think so. I'll just mention super quick that I've got some toys and stuff coming in the mail. So possibly I might have a toy shipment come in tomorrow. And if by chance we happen to finish Metroid tonight, we'll probably do an unboxing on Saturday.
Unspeakable horror awaits you.
Unspeakable Metroids, for sure. Thank you very much, Lamasar, for your continued support. I greatly appreciate it. Thanks, of course, to everyone donating to the cause of the communally funded versus fighting game bonus streams. We're slightly, actually not really. I was gonna say we're slightly behind on the timetable here, but not really, based on the donations that have been coming in over this stream. So we're looking okay there. What was I gonna say? Anyway, we'll be unboxing some action figures in the near future, possibly on Saturday. But I have a feeling that first of all, I don't know that I will have them by then. I also don't know if we'll be done with Metroid by then. So we'll see. We'll see. But well, without further ado, then let's see if I can find my controller. There we go. Let's not waste any more time. Let's hop on over here and see if I can figure out how to turn on my Switch. And see if we can... I mean, my controller is like lighting up. I have to press this thing. I don't know how the Switch works. I don't know how you turn on or off a Switch, I guess. Or a controller. Oh, okay. Something vibrated. I think we're getting there. All right. Let's, if I do this, okay, yep. All right, Metroid Dread. Let me fix my thing here so I can actually see what I'm doing. Turning on a Switch is a mysterious dance. Yeah, I mean, it's the same, like, I own a Wii U, granted, but I don't really have a lot of familiarity. Like, in terms of, you know, I have a PS4, I have a PS3, I have every generation of Xbox. Like, there's some degree of consistency and like a through line in how certain system level things work. that the first time I turned on my Series X, I was not particularly confused about it. With Nintendo, I don't even know if that's the case, because I have not... Never, really, have I had a Nintendo console be, like, the console that I interact with the most regularly. At one point in history, I had a Wii, or kind of, I think me and my brother, like, shared one. But I was playing more on my 360 at that point. When I got my Wii U, you know, it kind of almost goes without saying that that was not really my main console. I guess the DS may be the closest. I guess you can't really say it's your main anything, but I did play my DS very regularly for the first, you know, few years. But even so, like, every other Nintendo system I've owned, past and present, has always been kind of something I dabble with just infrequently enough that I'm gonna be like, wait, hang on, how does this thing work? How do I turn things on or off? Yeah, we picked up one mysterious orange football, which I presume to be a power bomb. Because we didn't get it, like, it seemed to me as if essentially what happened was we got the equivalent of a missile tank upgrade before, well, that's a weird example because you don't really get the original missile upgrade, well, actually I don't even remember how you got it in this game, maybe you started with it, but it's like we missed or we didn't find the Chozo statue, the item sphere or the item cube or whatever that will unlock it. We've just got an ammo upgrade, but without the core upgrade, it doesn't actually give it to you. I don't think that's literally exactly what happens, and more importantly, I don't think we, like, sequence broke or did anything weird. It's just a little funky. Gecko133, thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate it. Start with regular missiles. Yeah, that makes sense. Like, I was trying to think, and I couldn't remember finding, like, unlocking missiles. But it also reminded me of Zero Mission. You know, you get the scrambled Chozo upgrades that you don't unlock. You get a couple of them, and only when you finish the game, or not when you finish, but close to it, they all, like, unlock at once. I don't think that's quite what's going on here, but maybe it's something thematically similar. Anyway, as I recall, I feel like I want to look at the map screen. I want to see the map screen when I continue. I guess that's... I was going to say that's only in Super Metro, but that's not true. I think most of the games do that. Technically, I think you press continue and then you see the map screen, but whatever. We're going to need to look at the map. is the point I'm trying to make, I suppose. As I recall, we wrapped up, like, kind of right in the middle of something, or we were, like, we just traveled. We got the double jump, right? The shine flash, whatever it's called. Shift flash? It's called something funky. And it helped us a little bit in the water area, but not much, because you cannot actually get height. Leon Dominguez. Welcome, welcome. Oh yeah, we got the freeze missiles. That's new, also. And that's not the map button. Right, because we went here and we let out all the X. Okay. Wow, we're not at all where I thought we were. For some reason, I had it in my mind that we traveled back to, like, early parts of the game, but I guess we did not. We're in Ferenia. Oh yeah, we found some trains and stuff. Yeah, because this is the missile lock thing that we apparently... Right, because we kind of backtracked and was fucking around for a whole while, and then it's like, oh yeah, of course I'll just progress. Right, I'm remembering. There's something here. Yeah, and I think I kind of purposefully didn't stop to look, because I just wanted to kind of get to the save room and end the stream last time. Yeah, no, we found some oceans and volcanoes and stuff, but no surface. We found what appears to be bright sunlight, but still no surface. Uh, well, I guess we'll walk through this door on the right and see where it takes us. Right, fucking right off the bat, like aiming into the floor. Analog controls haven't like tripped me up or anything, but it is. I don't know. I kind of wish. I guess I kind of wish that the controls would or the aiming was like less granular, so it was easier to like actually aim forward and not. I don't know. I mean, it really kind of comes to a head during the ME sequences where you where the aiming is really finicky. All right. Well, we opened this door. That's nice. Fuck that up. Oh, okay. We got a cold room. We checked this out, right? But yeah, we're not equipped to deal with that. Oh, fuck that up. Oh shit. Yeah, it's kind of interesting with the X enemies. You kind of have to. All right, more orange footballs. They still telegraph their attacks. Okay, just remembering the controls. But the flash doesn't happen until... Like, you can't really react to the flash. So you have to be just a little bit more observant. Oh, wait. Oh, that's... Wait, did I just break its armor or something? How did that work? I'm not sure if it was the missile or the charge shot, but it started off not taking damage from my regular attacks, and then it... Or maybe it was... No, I was probably just not paying attention. The plasma is supposed to make it so that... That's kind of interesting. With the plasma beam, I'm not supposed to have to charge to, like, break armor, I guess. Alright, okay. Just checking, just checking. Oh yeah, by the way, it's been a while, but it's... Okay, no, it's just like the electric. Okay, that was my other theory. Got this electric coating. It's Thursday, and for once, first time in a while, SNK had a little teaser yesterday, and then the trailer this morning, and they announced Hyder, which is not terribly shocking a revelation. Oh, that's what's going on there. Okay. Hydern is featured in the kind of key art, cover art, so it's not a completely foregone conclusion that he would be included in the game, at least not in the base roster, but the most reasonable assumption, and it appears that is the case. It is, of course, not clear what team he's on, and that is still an interesting question, because there's not a lot of teams left to announce for KOF. Not a lot of characters left, and like within the teams and kind of roster. Oh, okay, Emmy. Areas. Oh, that's a cold room even. Okay. Expectations remain intact. Yeah, like, but it's good. It's one of those things. They gave us technically new information, right? But not a lot of like, still questions. And like basically there's, as of TGS, there's K-Team. K- has 2 unknown members. Ash has 2 unknown members. And Squid Kid, what's her name? Isla has 2 unknown team members. And then on top of that, that is one team with 3 unknown members. So we've seen, I think her name was Amanda, the other new character, the black girl with the glasses and the white hair. And it seems like you could probably kind of infer from the trailer footage, as well as just kind of a little bit of guesswork, that she's probably teaming with Isla. But she could also be teaming with Hydern. The 3 of them could be a team. It would seem a little unusual for Hydern, but you can't really rule it out. Whatever, like, those characters are going to be important to the story, and Hydern definitely is the type of character who would... He's a character who is featured in the story of multiple KOFs without being playable. So him having that kind of connection seems plausible. But it is also entirely plausible that he would command his own team. Now, obviously, it would not be an Ikari team, I don't think. I guess it's possible that he is with Whip and someone else, but 2 Ikari teams seems, I don't know, overindulgent. So my kind of speculation / wish list, whatever, is obviously I want Takuma. He is one of my favorite characters in KOF 13. Well, he was definitely my favorite in that game, but I just like him in general. And Takuma and Hydern have teamed previously in 1998. The music in the Hydern trailer is the 2002 remix of In Spite of One's Age, which is the theme song for the Oyaji team, aka the Masters team. In 98, it was Hydern, Takuma, and Saishu. So could that be hint? I mean, I wouldn't read too much into it, because the individual character themes they play for these trailers, like, it's all kind of whatever, old music. But I would be happy if we got a new Oyaji team. I mean, I would be happy if we got the exact same team. Takuma and especially Saishu have not really been featured very much recently, so that would be awesome. Either, like, that would make me a lot more excited than Whip. I can say that much. But, you know, if Hydern is actually on the same team as Isla and Amanda, or whatever her name was, that still leaves a completely empty team. I mean, it seems crazy that Kim is not announced, right? But would they leave the Kim team for last? I feel like the last team either is some crazy, like, guest character crossover team, or some completely wild card. Or, I mean, it could be Hydern's team. It could be the Masters team. But if they like reveal, if they save those 3 characters for last, then it makes no sense that it would be a mainstay team like Kim team. It would have to be something special. Is my take on that. But as always, you know, they keep showing something that looks kind of neat and cool in its own right, but also kind of leaving you wanting more and raising questions. I'll look forward to more info on that. Oh boy. Oh, that's not great. Well, that kind of worked somehow. Alright, okay. That could have gone worse. That could have gone worse. Low battery, okay. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, I thought it said 100%, but I guess that was my console. I think this is the, yeah. My USB right here. It seems reasonable to assume that the gravity suit is going to be a somewhat, like, oh my Jesus Christ, okay. It's reasonable to assume that the gravity suit is something that we're gonna get soon-ish. Like, I feel like that's one of the major next kind of upgrades. And I wonder if, because in Super Metroid, the gravity suit also has, like, additional temperature protection So it would make sense to me that the gravity suit would also enable us to go into cold rooms. But that could be a separate thing. Whatever is letting us deal with these things, we don't have, like, I feel like there's a couple of things, types of obstacles that we're still not equipped to deal with. I think there are 2 Emmys left. Yeah. So, well, it's this one, obviously, and presumably one in an area we have not yet visited. Yeah, that went surprisingly well, I gotta say. So I guess we find our way in here, and like, but there's some exits and entrances, so presumably we will not have to go through this entire sequence all the way back here. Like, getting to the central unit is usually a little bit convoluted anyway. Anyway, let's keep going. Oh yeah, those enemies are pretty cool. Hey, nice. Map screen, I'll take that. I'm starting to learn finally what each room looks like. Brother brain, yeah. Oh, okay. There's actually quite a bit here. It's interesting because I think, like, one of the things I was thinking of is, like, boss fights in this game. Just thinking of kind of, I don't know, I like boss fights, I guess. And I think there's been some pretty cool boss fights in this. Kraid was pretty alright. That underwater fight, I'm like flabbergasted that they actually made a water-themed boss fight be cool and fun and good. What's his name? Gragmire? I forget. The fish boss in Super Metroid. Like, that's kind of cool because you have the whole gravity or grapple beam trick and everything. Like, it's kind of like, as with anything in that game, it's very polished and like atmospheric and cool. Dragon, right? But it's still an underwater fight. And a lot of the fights in that game, I think, are, maybe they're not meant to, but you can play them very tanky and brute forcey and just kind of shoot your way out of them a little bit. So it's not a terribly interesting fight. Or I wouldn't say it's a very fun fight, necessarily. In addition to the whole underwater Meridia shit just in general. But there hasn't been, like, this game is kind of interesting because there's not a lot of boss fights, I would say. Not necessarily compared to other Metroid games, but just like... Interesting, is that not... But for, like, however many hours we've played, there haven't been that many fights. But there have been a lot of Emmys and central units. Wow, okay, that actually hit. So it's like, without having to design or create these like massive encounters, they've still kind of tried to make sure there are some slightly more intense encounters, so to speak. Do I want to go here? Seems like there would not necessarily be much meaning. Because presumably I'm... Oh wait, actually, is this... Haha, never mind. I guess I am. I was gonna say, oh, you can just go here, but no. Makes sense. It would be weird if this was something I could kind of skip. Like, it's like they tried to kind of figure out a way or balance. It's an interesting enemy, so I can destroy the bomb. Like, it's just a way to kind of get a few more somewhat higher level encounters without having to, without the need for major boss fights. Let's. Right, I have an anime air dash. I forgot. And I don't know that I am convinced that it's been an entirely successful way of dealing with that, because the enemy encounters aren't like super fun. Not all of them are horrifyingly terrible. But a mixed bag, to say the least. No, that's not where I wanted to go. Oh, that's not gonna work. Oh, too early. Alright, fuck that up. Okay. So it's not necessarily I don't know, it's just an observation I made. Like, it's interesting to have these kind of, I mean, of course, Super Metroid has like kind of mid-bosses, so to speak. Oh, I should just wall jump up there, probably. But to have these kind of recurring encounters. Yeah, just do that. What the fuck was I thinking? I wasn't thinking. I was looking at the ceiling and I saw the track and I was like, well, I don't have that thing to ride, so I guess I'll just, it won't do this. When I could have just air dashed across. Ah, so this is the save room. Nice. Okay. Well, I didn't save last time, so I guess I'll do it now. The thing about the Emmy rooms, I guess, or like the Emmy things, is that I would say somewhat surprisingly, the stealth and avoidance part is actually kind of fun. It's when you have the ability to fight back. Well, the most recent one for sure. Beyond that, it's been a little bit of a mixed bag, I guess. How much you want to guess that's an orange football? Ooh, it's not. Nice. Piece of heart. Maybe it's the most recent one that's coloring my judgment, but I kind of feel like once you have the ability to fight back, it's created this kind of weird, convoluted situation. Oh, this is kind of cool, by the way. All this environment stuff outside. It's underground sunlight, by the way. Oh, there's something here. Aha. Good guess. We'll see what this Emmy is like, but I feel like I'm not even sure if it's only the most recent encounter, but like the kind of thing where it would be too easy to simply let you fight back, and you know, having avoided it, and then you get the ability to fight back, you get the Omega Beam, and then it's done with. For sure, the most recent one was very kind of tricky that way. Okay, so right, dude, I keep. Okay, I gotta think for a second. I can look it up, but this. Nope. Oh, interesting. Okay, I can hold A and then move. I see. That's aiming. Grapple. Okay, I'll have to look it up. I'm trying to remember, like... No, all right. It's the D-pad direction, I think. Right, there we go. I was like, how do I use the X-ray? Yeah, we can check. That's a good idea. Like, you guys are like super jumping the gun. I don't feel like I've expressed any kind of I'm stuck, I need help. I'm like in the middle. I'm just like playing, and you guys like, hey, I can give you a hint. Like, no, that's fine. Like, I wasn't I wasn't asking for a hint. I was not, in my mind, even expressed. Like, if I'm just like not going anywhere, it's because I'm in the middle of having a, like, I'm trying to have a conversation. I would have gone back. Like, I was appreciative of the reminder that I have the X-ray scope, because I had totally forgotten about that. I would have stayed for about 20 seconds, give it 1 or 2 attempts at shooting the green things, but I know from, I was told previously that I don't have what I need to deal with those things, and I wouldn't be able to recharge my missiles, I don't think, anyway, so... But yeah, like, cool it on hints, please. Anyway, I think about 10 minutes ago, I was trying to say something about the Emmy fights and how I hope they don't keep trying to escalate, like, making it some kind of a tricky thing to find the, like, failing and redoing it, that part is just not... I mean, I'm not raging at it the way some people seem to, from what I've seen on Twitter, but, it's still not... It's when the game is the least fun. Cool. Is this a boss intro? It is a boss intro, kind of. Dude, the fucking frame drops every time it shoots one of those. I'm taking way too much damage. I wonder if I can melee it. Oh, that's... Okay, I thought that was the melee attack. It's kind of interesting. Like, the bosses... do a lot of damage. The difficulty kind of curve is a little strange in a way, because... the game doesn't feel like it's really... Like, very, very early on, it felt like it was... pretty sure that won't work. Well, I wonder if I can just... Well... The pace is pretty quick. So... I don't have a lot of time to react to the different tells. Oh, whoa! Actual X boss fight. That's pretty sick. I don't like... Okay, so people have been complaining that... that enemies don't show when they take damage, which I don't really agree with. I've not had an issue with that. But I don't like the way the X flashes to indicate that it's not taking damage. I much prefer the way it's done in Fusion, where it opens up this weird eyeball thing on the side to show you that it is susceptible to damage. Right now, it just has this flashing that... I don't know. I can see that it's flashing, but I feel like it's inconsistent messaging. Because when something is flashing, in any other context in the game so far, it does not signal invincibility. It signals that it took damage. Maybe anything that is flashing is also currently invincible while it's flashing, but that's not like the primary meaning of that communication, whereas here it very much is. So it gets a little muddled. Infusion depends on the core. The beam core is opened. Yeah, I guess maybe the earlier ones you fight don't have that thing. But even so, like it's, I don't know. I don't remember the exact details, but I remember it not being confusing the way this kind of was. Oh, we got there. I didn't think necessarily that I did a better job, but all right, we can lock on. Okay, that makes sense. Huh. You charge. Okay, cool. That's fun. That's a new kind of missile ability. I like it. So these also... Okay, so interesting. Store missile boxes. Oh, is that the... Wait, hang on. That doesn't make sense. I was going to say, are the orange footballs? Because everything is yellow and orange. But no, They must be referring to the green boxes. I just got confused for a second because of the color. I gotta make sure to like not lock on for too long accidentally and start shooting expensive missiles. Interesting. Yeah, maybe the audio cue. I don't know. I just like, again, like, it's clear enough that I was hitting the thing. It's that it was not clear to me in my ignorance. Oh, nice. I repelled it. It's not as clear when it was susceptible again, but I still did it first try, so obviously it's not really a big deal. Yeah, I figured, like... Again, like, it's okay if you don't tell me how everything works before I try it even once. Like, you don't have to tell me everything. I understand you guys are excited about the game, but, like... I'm okay with trying things at least once. It can be a fine line. Sometimes it's just a very, like... Something can save a lot of frustration and trouble if you don't understand something you're... like that important for you to know. But I figured like you can see that it's like what? Oh yeah, holding the wrong thing. Like it's yellow, they're primed, so it made sense. Well, in this case, I'm not upset that you told me because I assumed that to be the case. I guess it's the thing there. So obviously we now have the ability to open some stuff, but will it actually help us get to... we have to go around here. Interesting. So it appears that we will have to go through a cold room to actually get to this, which would suggest to me that that's not where we're going right now. We can now go here. And, yeah, okay, well, that's what we're doing then. So we'll just go up to the left. Man, there really is... I think someone mentioned before that, like, that this game has, like, a lot of abilities. And that was been somewhat contentious, like, among some Super Metroid speedrunners or whatever. And I can kind of see that, I guess. Like, it's... fucked up. Because I aimed into the floor when I shot them. Yeah. At some point, like, it's starting to be a bit much to keep track of. Like, every time I load a save game, I'm like, oh yeah, that's an ability I have, I forgot. And it's a fine balance, because I think the abilities are fun to use. And I much prefer that things are on buttons as opposed to having to, like, toggle everything. Oh, okay, interesting. I like this twist. Well, it's not an insta-kill, but I actually did it. Oh, that's not the parry thing. That guy should... No. Big hitbox, too. Oh, double jump. Oh, my fucking god. No. Oh, I actually hit him. I got so fucking caught on the corners and everything. I totally fucked that up. That's awesome. Like, yeah, I forgot about these guys. Like, but this is kind of what I mean. Like, there's a lot of these encounters that are just like repeated. Sort of mid-boss kind of a thing. But in the case of these guys, like, having two of them actually makes it pretty novel. Oh, that's the wrong button, but it kind of worked out. Oh, shit. Oh, I guess he died. Okay. I think we got him. That's fun. I like fighting these guys. Yeah, like some abilities are just... I mean, like the anime dash is sick. And I'm glad I don't have to like equip it or do something clunky to enable it, but it also makes it easy enough to kind of forget. And I mean, it feels like such a... it's a bit of an adjustment from other Metroid games, because that's not usually the case, or at least not to this level, of having this many things to keep track of. I wonder if... Shit. Oh, that's not enough. Oh, I still, yeah. Oh my god, I also, it's like I'm fucking dying. Oh. Guess I can do that. So, there's something on the map. Oh, I guess it's not in this room then. It's gotta be in the next room. I see. I gotta actually shoot them too. I'm like... I'm surprised that I've internalized... Is that the space jump? Gravity. I'm trying to remember if I like recognize this thing. Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this works. But it's kind of funny. We got the double jump, and we didn't really... I didn't feel like... I don't know. We didn't have the double jump that long until we got this. It's kind of interesting. Oh, I guess I was going to say, like... See, there's no room for additional suits, but I guess the missile, like... the missiles just kind of... The storm missile is a separate ability. And the Vario suit replaced the power suit also, so it doesn't really mean. But it's interesting that there's definitely... It looks like there's room for more stuff in the morph ball. Yeah, I was not expecting... Okay, you can actually... You can't do it like super rapid fire, but... I think it's basically the same as the double jump, where it only works while you're descending. So you have to be like past the apex. But as long as you're on your way down, on a downwards trajectory, you can still do it like pretty rapidly. I can do it too early every once in a while to fail it, but it's a lot easier to do than in like any other game, which I really appreciate it. It's yeah, it's so weird and awkward in like all the other ones. So there might be some underwater section where just the additional horizontal range without getting extra height is still going to help us. But it's interesting because I didn't necessarily feel like... I mentioned that there's cold rooms, there are underwater sections. There's stuff where... Oh, where I can think of particular power-ups that are going to help us. Not to say the space jump isn't helpful, but it didn't feel like that's what we were missing. Which is not a bad thing at all. Like, it means that the game is keeping us on our toes, which I appreciate. Yeah, it's funny that the space jump doesn't feel the same in every game, but it feels different, but shitty. Oh, this fucking weird thing. Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever figure this shit out, but that's fine. Well, as I suspected, we weren't gonna come back here. So I guess it's just some additional detour. Oh, I should have... Fuck. Well, we'll come back here. The next Emmy is in here, so we'll come back here before too long, I imagine. I'll make sure to check if there's something in this corner. Because there really did not seem to be anything here. So whatever this flashing thing is indicating, I'm guessing is right here. Or possibly here. I mean, I would fully expect any Shine Spark tricks to be kind of convoluted, but that one in particular seemed very obtuse in what you're even meant to do and what parts you're meant to even interact with. But I guess I would say that, not being very good at that kind of thing, having not done many of them. But that's fine. I'm not concerned with getting like 100% completion. Like, that's never been something I've been interested in these games. Like, with some games, I would not describe myself as kind of a completionist in general in terms of how I approach games. I'm usually happy enough. Like, I know that I have more time than I have more games than I have time to play them, rather. So, I'll stick with puzzle solving for as long as I enjoy it. But if the game gives me an option to let go and leave, I will never feel bad about doing so. Actually, hang on. So we'll... Yeah, okay, I guess screw attack is... I was gonna say, we don't have... Do we have room for that? But that goes below space jump, I guess. Shine Sparks the way to sequence break. Well, that doesn't... Like... I don't care. That is irrelevant on so many levels, because I don't know what the sequence is, because I haven't played the game yet. I haven't finished the game, and I'm not really... I don't... Sorry, I don't mean to say that I'm, like, upset for you mentioning it, because I don't really care. It doesn't mean anything to me one way or the other, just that it's so far beyond what my interests are. Like, I'm happy for the people who are so into these kinds of things that they start looking at that within 2 days of a game coming out, but I'm savoring this experience and I'm playing it the way I want to play it, and that is leisurely. And as I said, you know, I'll engage with the puzzle solving aspect for as long as it entertains me, after which I will gladly move on to more entertaining, engaging things. Yeah, so I wonder if we've seen other areas with these little orbs One in that first big tank thing in the water section. I guess they're kind of... It's interesting. Oh, can you? No, you cannot animate dash. Well, that's interesting, because I had assumed that I would have to travel to this thing in order to open this thing to get to that missile. Hang on. Okay, so this looks like a store missile block, but I don't know what the buttons are. Okay, this is confusing, but that's fine. Confusing is fine. So how would you... I wonder if you could possibly get that missile from the right. Because there's no, like, spider balling it to the ceiling, I don't think. Unless I've got that ability and forgot about it. Well, either way, we don't have much choice. I guess we were meant to get sort of tricked into going here. And by tricked, I mean basically taking a shortcut to this specific room I was talking about. I suppose I may not have been too far off with my prediction that we were looking to get the gravity suit in the not-too-distant future. Just that we happened to get the storm missile and the space jump on our way there. Or like to get that stuff. But that's good, like I said. If I would have, you know, if I figured, oh, we'll get this now, that's the thing we get. And like, you know, it's more interesting if you make a prediction and it's like, it's accurate enough that you have the satisfaction of getting what you were anticipating getting, but the prediction is not quite correct, so you still get to be surprised, you know? It's so funny, you can like see through the blocks, but they're actually solid. I don't know, it's kind of weird. If I freeze these, yeah. Hey! Nice. But yeah, you had mentioned the, well, that's interesting. You had mentioned the grapple beam as something that was like tedious or convoluted or difficult or something. I forget what you said. But basically you said like, oh yeah, okay, so you have that already. I was speaking extremely briefly to regular viewer, sometimes chatter, Sampler Info, who, in full disclosure, is a personal friend of mine. We work together. And he had mentioned, because he's been like playing this alongside, basically. And he mentioned just very offhandedly, without going into specifics, that he noticed that I've been doing things in the game in like a different order than he did. Which is kind of interesting. I guess, like, certain things... it sounds like a little bit, maybe not completely, but a slightly, just a tiny bit like what I understand of Hollow Knight, where at certain parts the map kind of opens up and sort of diverges in a way where you can... oh, I didn't mean to lock on. You can sort of kind of choose one of multiple directions to go in. Oh yeah, I can... Wait. Why can I couldn't... Why could I not space jump there? That was weird. Because I do think this game does do a good job of... Can I not wall jump underwater? The game does do a good job of doing what Fusion does and fairly aggressively lock you in once you've made, like, there's a lot of kind of one-way doors, both in the sense of shortcuts that you open up from behind, so to speak, but also in the sense that once you go into an area, you can't return the way you came until you've... Like, obviously Super Metroid does that too in terms of... you know, you go through a tunnel and you can't get out of it until you... until you get the bomb or whatever. But this game, much like Fusion, does it a little more frequently and a little more aggressively. And I like that. But it would seem, based on that comment, that this game... it'll allow you to kind of lock yourself into one of multiple one-way doors. So you don't necessarily get things in the same order, which is cool. I think that is interesting. Once I finish this game, like, I've been avoiding like podcasts and I follow a couple of podcasts about games and stuff, and of course everyone's talking about this, so I've been like putting off listening to the episodes this week. I don't want to hear anyone really even talk, even if people are like, you know, no spoilers, whatever. You never know when people are going to mention something offhand that is going to be... It's not that I'm afraid of being spoiled of surprises of what I'm going to see necessarily. I mean, that's also true. But I want to... Basically, I want to be in a complete, like, sensory deprivation chamber in terms of experiencing the game until I've finished it. So at that point, I'm looking forward to hearing more impressions. I'm looking forward to watching speedruns. I'm looking forward to learning more about secrets and whatever. Oh, okay, you can counter that at least. Oh, that's weird and slow underwater. I guess I should have known. So, it'll be interesting, again, something like that. You know, it'll be interesting to see how many things you've seen in this game that you kind of assume to be... Okay, you kind of lose altitude. I see. I don't think I can grab this from here. I think I have to have the gravity suit and just... Well, I can't just hang... Oh, there's an explosive thing. I see. I'm going to open up that from the left. I feel like there's going to be things you sort of take for granted as your experience playing the game, and then you see someone play the game differently, and it's going to be like, oh shit, you can do that? You can do those things in that order? Like, that'll be interesting. Yeah, I think for sure, like, it's so interesting because, oh, that is sick. It like, you drop a bomb, and it, like, sucks it in. That is so cool. It's been fascinating to me how this game has sort of changed as I'm going through it. Yes, there's some things that get a little more convoluted in a way that's not all positive. While you also get new abilities, which are kind of fun, provided you can remember how to use them. The environments have become so much like it's so bizarre that the first three areas are like the most boring and worst and uninspired and samey. When, like, as soon as we got to Burenia, it's like, oh shit, there's actually a water themed world. Then there's like the plant world and the temple, or like the palace kind of, and this like weird temple dome thing. Like each section suddenly felt way more distinct. And certain new abilities have kind of opened up for more interesting interactions, and I'm continually kind of intrigued with how this game treats water stuff, because I think the addition of how the with how the double jump and the space jump works, allowing for more interesting, because basically without the limitation on height, the other games couldn't let you go to a water section with, like, while having space jump, because it would almost negate the entire designed sort of challenge to get around. So here you get to have kind of both. You can still get to pretty cool. It's full energy tank. You still get to have traversal challenges, but you can make them a little more palatable. Obviously, Samus having the higher speed and everything is, you know, that helps, and the increased mobility just in general. But, you know, you can't use the anime dash, but you can use the space jump, sort of. You know, you have the grapple beam, and the way that works with the magnet tiles and everything. It's interesting. I think they've done a good job of making a lot of potentially disparate elements and mechanics tie into each other and interact with each other in occasionally non-obvious ways. And I think that is it my favorite thing about the game? I'm not sure, but it is certainly an area in which I think the game is succeeding. In a way where this game legitimately feels like it's innovating on, as opposed to just rehashing. And that's something that I think I was not taking for granted that it would do. Okay, so let's just... Oh yeah. Oh, that hurts. Probably running away is a better idea. Okay, so what am I missing here? I used the scan here and I didn't see anything. Is it one of those fusion invisible blocks? Let's go back here real quick. It was easy enough to freeze this thing. Well, given how much that hurts, should probably shoot it and heal up. I'm gonna stick around here. I can't speed boost underwater. Makes sense. Oh, that's not gonna help us. So I'm stuck down here. Yeah, I like the way the water, like the like coral reef stuff, like this. It looks, it's like Meridia, but it doesn't suck. I mean, it still sucks a little bit, but it looks way cooler. So that would show if that was a thing. I'm trying to think, like, is there something I could conceivably do? Right, okay, I got it. That's an explosive thing there. I have the diffusion shot. There we go. Ah, and that opened up here. I see. There we go. I figured it out. Another ability that I kind of forgot I had. So you have to use it. Like the situations where you have to use it are uncommon enough. Well, I guess we're going down. There's not going to be anything here, I don't think, but if I had left that gap open on the map, that would have been problematic. But yeah, like the depth of the background here, like it looks pretty cool. Like these sci-fi water lab hallways, they're pretty unremarkable in and of themselves, but because they are used to tie in consistently with the various incarnations of the maritime theme of this area. It works really well together. It's funny to think that the water area is like one of my favorites in the game. It's not the most fun to explore or traverse necessarily, but it really is. I keep going on about it, but it's so remarkable. Oh yeah, oh wow, done one of these in a while. It is remarkable how much less of a pain it is compared to every other 2D Metroid. But it's also like the kind of first one we came in contact with that had any kind of distinctive look and feel to it. But I think the you know, the jungle area and the temple area, they're really cool too. I still maintain that, I mean, I guess the water one has more of its identity because it has these sections too. But in terms of the kind of physical traversal shapes of rooms and the pacing of, you know, enemies and everything, at this stage anyway, I don't strictly feel that. Ah, that's cool. I don't necessarily feel that any one area has been had that strong of an identity. But, oh, that's so cool. That is cool. In terms of the map, I don't think there's one area I didn't like. I mean, I think that's fair. Open up something here at the bottom. I guess I opened up to move up there eventually. I'm not exactly sure what that accomplished. It probably let me go here. I think there was this was whole there was a big old hallway across here, I guess. I don't know, maybe I was supposed to drop down with it and see that happen, but that was cool. Even just seeing it drop down was cool. Oh, but I can open that up. That makes sense. Eventually. But my problem isn't that there's parts of the map that are boring or tedious or not fun. My problem is that there's not a lot of good or bad. There's not that many areas of the map or rooms or anything that I feel like I could describe. All right, we got a little chocolate bar in a ball. It doesn't look familiar. So I'm trying to think, remember what the gravity suit looks like. Could that be it? Okay, it looks like it. I think the gravity suit is some kind of spiral thing in... The Varia is like this ball with these, atom things shifting around. There's some open, you know, interpretation for all of the power-up designs granted, but... Well, we got the gravity suit. Nice. Well, we don't need the spring ball because it's built in. Protects from extreme cold and lava. Slightly increase the dash melee's damage. Okay. Oh, it's okay. We got the red uppercut. I'm conflicted. I was hoping the gravity suit would look awesome. Purple and green is a nice combination, but I feel like less of the the white comes through in less of the suit. I don't really like the more ridged shoulder pads. I don't know. I don't think this is the... Well, maybe it is. I was going to say, I don't think this is the worst looking suit of the three. It might be. Still looks kind of cool, but it's interesting how in some games, I don't know, it tends to be a little bit of a... Like in Super Metroid, when you get the Varia suit, it's oh yeah, that's the way she should look. She looks kind of weirdly green and sick with just the base power suit. Here, I think the blue and red, the standard suit looks so cool. And the Varia suit, the white and orange, it's kind of a neat combination. I feel like there's just something... We have two... There's this purple and this kind of magenta that almost bleed together. I wish there was more of a Oh, I think we still have the red chest and back. I'm not a huge fan of the green lines going down the, like the sides of the abdomen. Yeah, I think this is my least favorite of the 3 suits. I think the purple and green does look good together. But I don't know. Feels nice to get it still. There's like a bunch of frame drops in this area. Samus is harder to see. I don't know, I think with the glowy lights that's usually not that big of a problem. Not for me anyway. I don't know, like Samus kind of getting progressively uglier, or at the very least not keeping her best looking suit. That's very much par for the course. I don't think it looks ugly. I don't like it as much as... I just want to make sure that I can understand now what's going on here, but I want to be able to look at that on a map. And, oh yeah, well, I'm not gonna... Yeah, okay, just to know. In case I would ever want to come back there. Navigation room, get to talk to Adam. Yeah, I was looking forward to seeing it more up close. See, there's like a little bit of hints of blue, or grayish blue, whatever, like in the back of the knees and stuff.
Across the entire planet. Assume there is another problem you may
Yeah,
have
yeah,
noticed.
X.
The temperature of ZDR has started to fall.
I've not noticed that, but...
I cannot say for certain if the X are to blame, but the drop in temperature is indisputable. The gravity.
Sure. Like, seeing up close, I think the design kind of works better. I want to just look at her, but I do think it's interesting. Like, one thing I do like is how each of the suits actually has a different design. Unfortunately, I think they kind of get busier and busier. But like her legs are like with the original suit, her thighs are all white with that stripe kind of across it. And I think the Varia suit adds like the armored panel on the outside of the thigh, and this kind of adds that additional panel on the inside. The shoulder pads have more kind of layers and exposed parts. So it is cool that you have kind of... It does give you a little bit of a sense of progression that... I mean, she's still covered head to toe, but in some manner, like each level of armor is kind of slightly more... There's more armor plating on each of them. I think all the 3 suits are a pretty cool look. I just think the original suit is so cool that I'm getting kind of like... I don't know what to compare it to, but it's like Transformers or something. You have a design, and then the next wave of toys or the next movie or whatever it is, like you have to add stuff to it. Or hell, even like maybe not it's not the same complaint I've had so many times about like MCU costume design, but like other kind of superhero movies and stuff. Like they can't leave well enough alone. They have to like add new stuff. So there's a new design for the new movie, and they, you know, each iteration on a design apparently, like it's the simplest way to make it seem like a design is new, or I shouldn't say seem, but to make it noticeable, I guess, that it's new, is to like add stuff to it. So you end up with these like multiple iterations with just layers and layers of new greebles and details and noise and stuff. And I get a little bit of that sense from this costume. It seems a little less elegant, I guess. It's kind of cool looking in its own right, and I still think for sure it's I like this better probably than a good chunk of the suits that show up in the Prime series. But it's not quite as like instantaneously slick and yeah, just elegant, I think, as the original suit. Yeah, like I think that's true too, Lemsar. Like it's a bit like the balance of the different colors. Like you have the two issues of the two tones of purple being a little too similar to each other for it to really, like, they sort of blend together. You have two tones of purple, and then you have the dark blue and the white, and the green becomes a more dominant color the way it's like incorporated more in the torso. So when the original suit is like red, white, and blue in kind of equal parts with just a hint of green, this one is like purple, purple, blue, white, red, and green, almost all in equal parts. Which makes it a little bit more of a mess. But honestly, as far as gravity suits go, like in Super Metroid, I don't think it's a very good looking suit. Like it feels like aesthetically like a downgrade. And I think Fusion is like the unique, the weird, bizarro situation where the gravity suit actually feels like the real design. Like the suit looks at its best in the gravity suit. But I think I would not be opposed to the look of this suit if I wasn't so fond of the original design. Oh, actually, you mentioned Mega Man. That's a great example. Like, Mega Man X. X's, like, default design in the first game, like, looks great. When he's fully upgraded, it's a bit much, but it's okay. And then with, like, I guess it's maybe less so in some of the later X games, but in, like, 2 and 3... Interesting, the water's frozen. That's cool. In 2 and 3, like, X's design just gets ridiculous with, like, so many bits of white and gold and just... Yeah, they have, like, it's the exact same thing of completely losing that sense of elegance and this clean design in favor of something that's... Yeah, do it. Of something that's far more... I hate when people use the word over-designed, because that's to me, a complete misinterpretation of what the process of designing something is like, but there's just like too much stuff going on. And I think compared to like X3X, this Samus still looks nice and clean and cool. But relatively compared to the original standard suit. Oh, hello. Got a shield. Shield seems to be reacting. Should have locked on before that. Yep, there's the ghost shield. Oh yeah, I have a space jump now. I don't actually have to get to the wall. He still is not shooting X slime with each. Oh, go. Phase 2. Oh, that's new. Oh, right, the new state. Right, okay. I did that wrong, but that's fine. So he did something before that had an actual parry thing on it. Oh, multiple phase thing. Oh, no, don't go into the middle. Oh, okay. Footsies. I wasn't sure if there would be a third one. Nice. See, that's again, like, this is yet another one of those repeated kind of encounters that coming back multiple times. Okay. Well, there's something there, obviously. Maybe that's a screw attack? Could be. There's a lot of screw attack blocks. Cutscene? Nope. Okay. Usually when there's a load screen like that, it's a cutscene, but... Or not a load screen, but a load delay. So now we even have an ice area that's... Oh! Okay, that's what's going on. I was waiting for him to, like, attack me. And it's cool how, like... I mean, I guess we haven't been in these specific rooms before. But, wow, pretty far-ranging. Well, I had these ice areas, and maybe some other rooms we've been to before will actually... I guess this is all ice now. Yeah, I was gonna say, you know, I bet some areas are gonna be different. Recontextualizing areas by having something having changed, or any way to see previously explored areas in kind of a different light. It's always interesting. So I don't know that I would trust that we're actually gonna... Oh, fuck, that actually, I have to open that again. Can I? No, it's... Fuck. I realized a little too late that he was not taking damage. So I wonder if I need to charge or use a missile or what. Okay. Drag this open from both sides. I guess we would see something, but... No. Okay. Fuck. Do I have, like, you don't have a lot of time to experiment there, but... I wonder if the parry is, like, the way to deal with those guys. I want to, like, drag him out here, but maybe this way. Yeah, okay. That's even more... That noise. Even more specifically, like, something you really want to do the parry. Wait, I mean, I have the speed booster. I'm so used to, like, not... Like, oh, speed booster, okay. Well, actually... Well, okay, so missile blocks... I think maybe you can speed boost through these, or maybe you just have to shoot missiles real fast while you're running. Yeah, that's... See, the same thing. I've just been so used to seeing speed boost block and determining that it's going to be an impossible puzzle that I kind of forgot that it's actually an ability I have. So it would appear to me that if I do a little ball spark through here, I'll just get shot through this entire hallway. But there could be something... It seems unlikely that it's all for the purpose of just getting a shortcut through here. Because it takes about 5 seconds to go through there, so... It would not shock me if this flashing is indicating something that's in through that thing. But before I try that, I wonder how... Well, let's... I'm not in very good shape, am I? I'm very low on health. But let's see if we can... I wanted to see if... Yeah, okay. So I don't have to do some weird, like... As long as I can run through there, I can at least get through. And those will stay broken. Oh, attack pretty good. Wow, okay, red X. Thank you very much. That was quite nice. Okay. So I guess this was basically to open up, give me more room. Those will still stop me. Interesting. And yeah, once you, like, enemies won't respawn until you, like, get further through, basically. Oh, interesting. Actually, we're stopped there. Okay. Well, I was still basically correct. Huh, of course. I can't get through there, so. Well, I'm glad we did that. As far as Shine Spark puzzles go, that was incredibly simplistic, but... I was waiting for him to do the melee attack, but he just walked into me. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Like, I'm sure the water would have stopped us before. I don't even think we had the grapple beam when we were here last time. But now it's frozen. So surely there's... I'm curious to figure out whether we will have an ability to melt ice, or if there's going to be some other kind of development. Because that would be kind of interesting, that there's something that essentially was kind of like didn't really matter or come into play. Like having a fire, whatever, melting beam is only kind of necessitated by the presence of the ice. So, okay, I should maybe... Oh, no, of course I can't go through here because of the ice. I was like, oh, I should have gone up here, but no, I can't. So we're being kind of funneled through here. All the enemy areas are frozen. Okay, so we cannot even go in. Okay. Well, that would suggest to me that... Well, it says frozen. Maybe we can heat it up with whatever would allow us to melt the ice. I would more soon suggest or suppose that we are going to... we're going to have things heat up. But we'll see. We'll see.
Uploading data. I have determined the reason for the planet's rapid cooling. Thermal energy is no longer being routed.
Oh, yeah.
This area, Arteria, is located in the depths of the planet. Much of it will be frozen.
Oh, we're so deep into the planet that we're freezing. We gotta get some lava from the surface to heat up the planet's core. Yeah, find a way to thaw any frozen... Okay, so he's...
The central control system
explaining here.
Is still on
okay.
After solving the problem.
There must be... Ah! No hints, Adam. Well, I could have guessed. I mean, aside from seeing a Chozo statue. I just noticed the door. That's kind of cool. Huh. So there's a way to thaw stuff, whether it's something about routing energy or if it's something else. We'll find out, but clearly we should be going to Katara's. But yeah, I like that this provides a justification for having enemies being more powerful. Like, everything is X infected now, so it's more leveled up, basically. Yeah, even the game's backseating. It's crazy. What is that noise? Orange football? No. Interestingly enough, just a bomb block. But we do actually want to go to the right, though, because I want to go check... Oh, wait, is this... Okay, no, this is actually open. Well, because it's not important, I guess. But there's something here, so... I'm standing in damage. Oh, is that green gas? Oh, I guess so, okay. Yeah, that's the thing, like... I took it to mean damage because I remembered it from being in cold areas or whatever before, but I wasn't putting two and two together with what was actually hurting me. But I guess the green gas actually hurts you. Ah. Fine. Ah, I remember this. Hey, you can go through with ease. Oh, we cannot actually go... Uh-huh. Okay, so I actually did have to go through here to go up this way, because I cannot go in from this way. Like, it's arguably a little bit contrived in some ways. I don't have an issue with it at all. Like, I think it's... can you call it a justified contrivance? Is that a thing? It's a little bit contrived, but I like that there is the narrative justification for these mechanical contrivances are it makes it believable to me. It makes me accept it. If the gas was purple, I think it's the gas is so organic looking in its color. It's like almost brown. I think if the color had been more unnatural, it would seem more obvious. But also I think it's a matter of it being kind of like if they were gonna have it just be a lingering after effect, that's exactly how it would look, kind of. It's bright green. I don't know. I mean, it's not... I don't know. I think it's just a little bit of... Like, compared to the plasma beams, like, those are bright... Those are bright green. In terms of, like, toxic poison things, I don't know. I expect it to be fully nuclear green and not, like... Because that looks like swamp fumes or something to me, more so than toxic fumes. I just want to see if there's anything that it seems like I missed here, but it doesn't quite seem like it. Well, I guess it's pretty much just a straight shot to guitars, so... Alright. Lava's alive and well over here, at least. Seems kind of funky, but... I like how this, at least, is now... This is now the ice area, which makes it distinct from, I assume... I mean, I guess we'll find out, but... I would assume that Guitars is not quite... as frozen over as this is. What's up, Rubicon? Am I dreading? I mean, I was dreading playing it after I finished AM2R and Fusion, and those games being so fucking good. But if anything, I've been enjoying this more and more the more I play it. I think my biggest complaint, probably, if you can call it that, is that it's the length. It seems really long, and it's been engaging. I haven't been bored with it, but as with anything, pacing is more important than sheer length. But the earlier parts were kind of more repetitive and tedious and uninteresting. I'm sure there's room for at least a few more twists and turns, and I look forward to figuring out what that's going to be like. Okay. Wow, it's frozen pretty far. Grapple beam door frozen. But it's been kind of like reasonably consistently kind of reinventing itself. I don't know, giving us new interesting challenges and throwing kind of surprises at us. So I think I'm really not ready to say that it's a great game. I'm not saying it isn't, just like I'm not really ready to... I've heard people be very positive on this game. I've heard others not being impressed with it, but mostly, you know, sentiment seems to be quite positive. And I'm not really ready to render a verdict, one way or the other. Wow, that still worked. But I will say that it's certainly, as far as Mercury Steam games go, it's a hell of a lot better than Lords of Shadow Mirror of Fate. Which, of course, does not really mean that much. Oh, okay, so I cannot actually go through here. Maybe he actually has something to say. No. I think it has a huge amount of interesting innovations. It does a lot of cool things. And I will say, oh yeah, okay, I have the diffusion shot, so now I can do that. It is, as far as 2D Metroid games go, of the ones I've played, at least, I would say this has the most fun Samus to control. The movement, the jumping, the anime air dash, the abilities in general. I just wanted to see if I can possibly reignite this or something, but no. It is a fun game to play, but I think, as far as like the length and everything, like playing through Fusion and AM2R, I was not necessarily ready to just literally start over immediately. I mean, part of me felt like I could have, but I have other games to play and everything. But I was still like excited to go through it again with the knowledge of how the game works and see how fast I could do it and everything. I don't know if I will feel that with this game. I mean, I do feel for sure now that it'd be interested to see what it's like a second time through and everything, and I'm excited to see other people play it and speedrunning and all of that. So I don't suspect that I will specifically not want to play it again. But depending on how it goes on and what happens later on, like, I might have mixed feelings about going back to it because it's long. I've heard people say that there are some boss fights and some other things that are... I mean, I've heard people say they've just quit the game because it was too hard. I've heard different kinds of impressions. I have felt by and large that the game has progressively become cooler and more interesting. But there's more than enough room left for the game to also have some negative surprises towards the end. Oh, shit. Okay. Good Metroid boss sound when he's taking damage. Oh yeah, I probably shouldn't stand in that, should I? And that's kind of what I mean by, like, positive or negative. I don't know which sentiments will remain the same. But, whoa! That's a melee thing. Oh, right. I get it. Yeah, so we saw this dude, like this, I guess it was this room, I don't know, but we saw this guy kind of on what looked like an operating table kind of a thing. I speculated whether it was meant to be Crocomire or something. He's like red and he's got those spindly arms. So, maybe I misremember. I mean, it was that thing, but I don't know if it was this room that we saw it in. I don't think so. It was a room like we ran past. But I don't quite understand. Well, someone said it looked like the first boss. I didn't agree, but I don't think it's... I don't think it looks like Crocomire either at this point. I just wish I could remember what this room, because I assume... I don't know, I mean, this is the thing that we saw in the lab. That's 100% certain. It's well, it looks the exact same, but I'm a little confused about the map. Like, surely this map is not filled in because we went here and then died. No, we've been here before. But it was like a week ago. So there's like no way I can remember what this room looked like. Especially when we're being thrown into it this way with the cutscene. See, like, that's the kind of thing that I think this game doesn't do. Like, because the geography of how the areas fit together, because the map is so much more complex and so much larger, the different areas are connected in so many different ways that you really lose that sense of innate kind of geography of where everything is. And even if we pass through this area, like, it's all ice, it looks different. I don't recognize any of this. Like, I don't feel like I'm going through a place I've been before, because I don't remember. Like, very, very occasionally have we been in a room that's like, oh yeah, this room. But for the most part, we got here so early that it's been long ago, and now that it doesn't look the same, I don't have the context. And clearly we've been in this room. It would not have looked the same. Was this the room where the thing was on the table? I don't know. How would I know? Like, we don't, like, the way we're thrown into it like this also adds to the kind of disorienting feeling of... Because I remember that room as a room we passed through from left to right, but that could be completely inaccurate. So it leaves a gap. Did I jump into him? I don't know. I took less damage. Oh! Okay, did I bump into his arm? I think I did. But yeah, like, it's a neat pattern. It took me like one attempt to figure out what okay, phase 2. Fuck, I missed one. I missed 2. Now what? Whoa! Oh, fucking space jump. Whoa! Whoa! Fuck. Still got hit there. Oh, shit. Okay. Oh, it's too slow. Okay, I'm dead on the next hit. So I don't know. The horizontal distance covered by that beam seemed a little different. Well, obviously I fucked up the store missile part, and the first mistake I did was stopping to go into the aiming mode while charging the beam. You don't have to do that. You can just hold it and charge it. I'm a little unclear on whether when I'm dodging his swipes, I'm not entirely clear on whether I hurt if I'm jumping into his head. I don't think I am, but I don't know for a fact. Because I'm like flashing charge, There we go. This. I forget. Probably don't need to speed boost. That's probably only making things worse. Double swipe. It's coming sooner or later. No, I can just jump. Because I was about to say, like on the last attempt, that if I actually beat it last attempt, that would be kind of whack because I was still learning and I was still making so many mistakes. Are we done? I'm not... I'm not gonna make that assumption just yet. Oh, that's pretty cool. Just boost back up. That'd be cool if you actually boosted when you do the ledge grab climb. Oh, that was a cool fight. The boss fights have been pretty damn good. They've been so much more interesting than a lot of the Super Metroid. Like, Super Metroid has cool fights and cool bosses, but a lot of them are just kind of, you can just tank them. I like the way the fights are designed in this for you to not just tank them. And they're similar to Fusion in that you can just... they're tough and they might take a few attempts. Or my experience has been similar to my experience fighting the bosses in Fusion, at least. But every little... you know, nugget of wisdom you gain from an attempt, like, carries right into the next attempt, and then you do better and better, and then you beat them, and that's exactly how that went. Okay, let's... Giant Spark, or screw attack, yeah. Yeah, I was wondering, like, it was obvious to me, like, well, we've seen fans before, and the way we deal with fans is to speed boost. So it makes sense that that's a thing you can kind of do. But it also became quite clear that you don't actually have to do it, because I wasn't sure if you had to, like, stop the boss from shooting or blowing the wind, whatever. Like, I wasn't sure if that would go on forever until I did something, in which case that would probably involve getting the full speed boost, but that does not appear to have been the case, or clearly that was not the case. And when I realized that was not the case, I figured I wouldn't need to try that, because the thing with the speed boost is it kind of makes your speed variable, so it makes it harder to predict how to dodge those things. But see, like, the first time I got to the second phase, or just like the first time in general, what the heck? Couldn't get the melee to come out. I was a bit, like, overwhelmed, but pretty quickly... That's still closed, yeah. Pretty quickly, it, I made very significant strides with each attempt. Alright, so this is unfrozen now. I guess, yeah, okay, we unfroze the entirety of Kataris. Which is interesting. That means we can go back into the Emmy zone, which may have been locked before. Well, we couldn't get to it anyway. So clearly there's stuff here we can find now, except access closed. Grapple beam door, we should be able to open that at least. There's more stuff here. Oh yeah, it's a crate room. But I guess we need to find... Are we going back to Artaria? Is Artaria unfrozen now? I guess so. Okay, I didn't think that would be the case. I mean, we saw the big thing and some slime and goop disappear from it. I guess I figured there would be something more notable about... I don't know. I guess it didn't seem to me that clear how a little bit of slime had such a powerful effect on blocking the heat transmission. But okay. I'm glad that we can at least simply look at the map and understand that this is no longer frozen. That's good. The map is very generous and good at communicating information in this game, which is a good thing because there's so much fucking shit going on. So that means we can go back and find this, which is very big and flashing. Okay. I suppose there's no real reason to stick around here then, because I'm sure there's some things we can find. We can open this. Oh yeah, wide beam boxes. Just gonna take a quick look. Here's another speed. I'm sure we passed this without knowing how the heck to deal with this, which is usually the case. Like, I don't know. It seems like we would have to go pretty far out of our way for, like, a missile upgrade. I mean, I guess flashing things, it could be a life upgrade. It could be an energy tank or a order tank. But I can't go through here anyway, so I would have to go all the way around here. The thing is, like, instinctively, I'd rather go back to Artaria. But the thing is, like, in other Metroid games, I can kind of have a feeling for, you know what, we'll probably come through here again. But even if we, like, had reason to go back to this area, or we wanted to go to Dairon or something, there's going to be all these teleporters and other different ways. That, like, I feel like we're much more likely to never come back here. I don't know, there's a chunk here. Yeah, that's one of those things that I feel a bit a little bit iffy on with this game, where, like, because of the size of it, I feel like it's gonna be potentially a lot of it's gonna feel like, ugh, I can't be bought. Like, I feel that in any other Metroid game. Like, just going around to collect stuff for the sake of collecting it. But when the map is, like, 5 times larger, that feeling is highly exacerbated. So where does the blue teleportal take? Okay, so, well, I guess that's the one I should take, because it looks like that takes us way closer, if that is to be trusted. In fact, have we... Yeah, okay, it's right here. Yeah, we've seen that one, but we never actually used it, so we should definitely use it. It's funny, yeah, like, the map is huge, but I keep finding myself... You know, you have this sense of, like, let me just do this, and then we'll go around to do this, and then we'll trek all the way over here. But before you get to start that trek, the game kind of throws... Oh, we can go... Right, okay. Oh, this looks cool. Before you even get to make that trek, the game throws some kind of a shortcut or fast travel or something else your way. And you kind of like, oh, okay, I guess we'll just do that then. Which, you know, it's a convenience. But I still have mixed feelings about it. I'm not saying I would prefer it more if this shortcut was not here. But I think, as I think was pretty much my first comment whenever I saw, maybe not even the teleporters, but just the fact that there were elevators and trains linking the areas, that the fast travel or the teleports, those aren't the issue at all. They are, you know, like I said, they're a convenience. But they are also a a fix in a way to an issue. Like, they are a convenience because the map design makes it an inconvenience to have to go through it all sort of manually. And in a lot of the older Metroid games, you didn't really have that issue per se. Like, the map wasn't necessarily that large, and okay, yeah, it definitely looks like we'll get the screw attack here. Yeah, boy. We got it. It's funny, like, I mean, I can't say that we barely used the space jump, but I don't know. Well, for how long the game is, I should not be complaining about how frequently and rapidly we get stuff. Because it's the long stretches with nothing happening that's, you know, bad. But yeah, like, right? Like this, in the past 2 hours, hour and a half, like, we've got the space jump and the screw attack and the storm missiles and the gravity suit. Like, very, very rapid. Well, that feels pretty good. And that is definitely opening up. Between all of those, I'm pretty sure we can go back and fight that Emmy now. The screw tap doubles as the spin boost. I'm not sure what the spin boost is. It sounds vaguely familiar, but I don't know what it is. Oh, the double jump, okay. Yeah, but it's fascinating to me that it would even be possible to get here without. Like, oh yeah, and I can't even, okay, that's a one-way trip, I see. Can I? I wasn't sure if I couldn't spin jump, screw attack in the water. Okay, there's something here somewhere. Oh, I can see something going on there. Oh, I can't diffuse all the way there, so. Oh, I wonder if, nah, okay. Fuck, okay, hang on. Oh, okay, so that's a two-way. Where is it? Well, let's find out. Okay, sure. We're here. We'll do some trekking. Spelunking, if you will. Oh, hello. But yeah, like, I have mixed feelings about the map and everything. Like, it's a fun game and it's cool to explore and everything, but there is... I feel like when even regular old Metroid games, to me, feel a little too tedious to go find, you know, go through the map with a fine-tooth comb to find everything. I feel like that would be far worse in this game. But it's hard to say. You move super fast and everything, so like maybe not, you know? Just kind of scanning the map for everything. I don't know. Still is a lot we haven't seen here, but like we've got at least one of these, and I don't know if that was a weird sequence break thing or what, but did we like is there a point to go find this? I don't know. Well, we don't have whatever this is either, so there's a big enough chunk here that maybe we will be pushed towards this area later on. Well, I guess we will, we don't... Oh, there's a screw... Right, okay. Well, we were here before. Let's, I guess, go back and, there might be something in Berenia, too. But otherwise, we will make our way back to Ferengi, whatever it's called, the palace levels from Prince of Persia. Well, yeah, I mean, I have a few slight misgivings about things here and there, but it's interesting because I think there's a ton of specifics that I think the game does really well, but there's some like very broad philosophical kind of design ideas, which obviously would still manifest in specifics, but like, about the different regions being less distinct from one another, about the geography of the map being harder to kind of parse and remember organically. There's things like that where I feel like the game is, if not weak, at least those parts are a little wobbly.
The planet from cooling. In addition, you have gained the screw attack.
This shit, you know, the robot voice, the fact that you cannot turn off the voice, that annoys me. But there's very few things, looking at like how certain controls work, how certain abilities work, how certain encounters are kind of designed, the way the boss fights work, like taking any of those kind of things in isolation, I can't think of a single one that I'm like, oh man, I can't believe they did this. That's kind of a bit shit that they did it that way. Like, I feel like pretty much every kind of innovation or like change or addition feels at home, and I think that's fairly impressive.
But you are still not prepared.
Yeah.
There is a
Sam has felt the same way, I guess. Like, yeah, dude, I get it. You keep saying I'm trash. See, looking at this gas, like it's bright green. Sure, it's not dull, but it's like sort of. It already looks like it's dissipating by the time it shows. Like, I don't know. There's something about that gas that's maybe not quite as like kind of oppressive as it could be in terms of being super obvious that it can hurt you. All right, so there's some speed booster blocks, which obviously were not a concern. No, never mind. They're fucking football blocks. So is this. Never mind. I was gonna say like, oh shit, we can do that now. So we should go down first, but no. Well, I guess we're going up here. And we're probably using this one, because it'll take us up there. But we don't have to go all the way up here to get to where we need to go. And I guess we'll go from Gavoran to Brenia. Yeah. We could probably go get our 100% item, because if I recall, this was behind one of those storm missile blocks. No. No, what's... Oh, wait. No, it's a football. Okay. Well, let's go up here. Looks like a one-way kind of door. Yeah, like overall performance in this game hasn't been like a huge issue, but frame rates are definitely dropping more than I would like. Like in an encounter like this, like frame drops are like not a good thing. And it's like quite noticeable. Ah, I should have counted. Fucking hell. No, that was actually good. No! Got him. No, fuck, I thought that was his death animation. Oh my god. Fucking idiot. Dude, that space jump. It's still not reliable when it matters. Okay, good. We might still have this. That doesn't work. Fights are still fun, but... I don't know if my computer would be good enough, but, you know, hot topic of debate on the internet is about emulation stuff. Like, I guess Switch emulation is a thing. It's not something I've been keeping up with. At least apparently this game runs well. And I personally would absolutely not condone piracy. In this case, in my personal case, I bought the game, so I guess I wouldn't feel bad about playing it on PC. But I'm pretty sure my computer wouldn't, like... I've got a pretty old GPU and everything. But I'd be interested to see, like... just running it in 1440p, just like the slight resolution increase. Because I happen to have a 1440p monitor. There's a lot of, like, Samus... I was thinking when we were talking about the gravity suit design, like... it doesn't necessarily quite... You know, you can't quite see the detail unless you're kind of up close like this. But for sure, like, if you could maintain a rock solid 60 FPS, and also maybe shorter load times, like, those would all be nice things. But I don't have a overall, like, it's unfortunate that some of those frame drops happen in those, like, in a fight like that, where it's pretty crucial that you can move around uninhibited. But I mean, I still did it first try, so... I assume Screw Attack does good damage, but it's not necessarily the easiest. Ah, because now I can get it. Oh, yeah, we were... Oh, right, because we were here, and it's like, how the fuck do you get this? Ah, but now... I know. I know. Well, I don't know that I know. No. I was thinking, well, that doesn't fucking work, does it? I was like, oh, yeah, we can just... we can just, whatchamacallit, speed boost, but unless there's some weird trick that I haven't figured out, still can't. Yeah, I don't fucking know. Because I can't, that doesn't work. can't, like, bomb myself across. I feel like there's got to be some other kind of trick to it. I wonder if these, again, if these are literally there to signal that you can double jump, space jump, whatever through. Or if there's some kind of mechanical significance to those orange boys or whatever. Well, we can get through here now and take a new train. Interesting. I'm pretty sure, well, I mean, we can go here, but we're, I would say, fairly incentivized by the game to explore an area we have not yet explored. So we can get this, and we could probably space jump back up. This. Access closed. Oh. There's a lot to explore here, actually. Well, let's open up this and see what we got. Oh, hello. Great on health. Goop isn't hurting us, no. I cannot space... Oop. But might as well get it. It's not like going back around is very time consuming. We could probably climb our way up here through these tunnels. It's closed? Yeah. Well, so whatever's up here, it's not going to be a concern for now, but... Oh, fuck, I'd have to go through... Well, there might be something hidden here. Oh, we haven't gone up... yeah. But even going here requires us to... Hang on. No, we can't because this is in the way. No, wait, we can... Never mind. Now we can. We can screw attack through there to finally go back. Yeah, there's some, like, major... Oh, yeah, we didn't even destroy these. Oh, see, that's weighing on me heavily now. Oh, yeah, these are the mushroom blocks. Can you, like, freeze them? Because I didn't have an opportunity to... Maybe you can freeze an enemy to stand on to shoot that, but... I don't know, it seems like quite the adventure to go back up here. I mean, there's gonna be something for it, for sure. And if we do, once we do, we should be able to open this up, which should presumably open this from both directions? Although, these are... that's a pitfall block, and so is this. So, you... Well, never mind, because we would come back here, and I would be able to go around here if I wanted to go from where I'm standing now and go here. So I do feel like, assuming I ever wanted to do that, I would be thankful for having that shortcut. But I guess at the same time, if I wanted to go here, instead of doing it now, I could do it then. Hard to know. Well, tell you what, guys, I'm gonna think a little bit on that while I take a break. We've been going for 2.5 hours, and seems like a good opportunity for a short break. But yeah, we're not finishing the game tonight, but that's fine. I was not expecting that. I'm having a good time taking my time with it, enjoying it at a leisurely pace. I'll go take a short break, stretch a little bit, sitting down for too long. I'll be back in a couple of minutes, so see you guys then. Whew. All right. Whoa. Oh yeah, can I check? There's exciting things to see if we can find out if we can check my battery status on my controller. I want to say that there's like a quick thing. How do you use a switch? Because this thing doesn't... Is that a thing? This is just for like remapping, or do I check? Okay, there we go. So there's... The battery status is battery. I guess that means it's full. There you go. Alright. I just realized I had the cable plugged in, which I probably don't need. So I said that I would think about whether to explore or advance during the break. I, of course, did no such thing. Well, this is probably a save room. Wouldn't make sense to be a map room, and I don't think it would make sense to be a communications room either. Like, the thing is... If I wanted to explore, I feel like I should do it now, because if I put it off, like, either I would have to go way more out of my way to get here, or I would... I mean, that's likely. But the other thing is, I might have a more urgent or, like, pressing we'll be in a more urgent situation more likely, or it's not, how do I even phrase it, like, we happen to be here right now, but there's other parts of the map that I could be exploring right now too if I were there. So it's not that we're really likely are going to have another opportunity that's going to present itself to say, hey, this would be a good time to explore this particular area. The only way that situation presents itself is if we happen to be there. If we happen to have to go someplace over here to puts us even closer, which may or may not be the case, because obviously there's still some stuff over here. But I guess I'd have to go from Berenia to come here. Shit. Well, maybe that's the thing then. I come up through that elevator all the way up here some other time. Oh, fuck me. Because what's more likely is that without an opportunity presenting itself to explore this particular area, I'll reach a point where the game makes it fairly clear that we're about to finish the game, and I will have to then abort that kind of final push to the end to go way more out of my way to go discover this stuff. And I won't feel like doing that, I feel fairly confident saying. So knowing that we are likely, or at least plausibly, never going to have a better opportunity to explore this than we have right now, what are my options? So I should be able to get all the way up here. But if I drop down here, this door is locked. Okay, so this will not actually help us. Right, because we might come from the right to open this. I don't know whether this is going to open from the right. I think when it's closed like this, usually it means that it'll open from the other side. Because here we actually see both sides of the door, and it seems openable from this side. So if I want to come back from here, what do I actually have to do? Not that much. I go back through here. Except I cannot go... No. I can't... This is exactly what I said last time. Oh, I can't go back. Oh, no, never mind. Screw attack. So I can go down here finally. So essentially, right now is the first time we could do this. So this may be my last decent opportunity, but it is also actually my first opportunity. And given how sprawling the map is and how we're going all over the place, and we're not really retracing our steps that much, I don't think it's unreasonable to think that this first and last opportunity may be one and the same. So if we go down here, it's not that much of a detour, frankly. Let's check it out. Let's do some spelunking. Like, that's the thing. You can look at a map for like 5 minutes, and then it turns out that actually oh, fuck me, never mind. I guess I have to come through the other elevator. Well, now we know. I didn't mean to stop there, but that's fine. We'll just reload. Oh, actually, it's missing more health than I thought. Okay then. So that's like a one-way thing. Fuck me. Yeah, I guess I wasn't looking that closely, because obviously there's just a one-tile gap here. And the screw attack blocks do not stay destroyed. Man, that feels kind of mean. I guess we need football, because then we can just drop down here, and that's gonna, then it's easy peasy, because they, oh, okay, well, I'm glad I looked into this slightly more thoroughly, because now I don't need to wonder. I have to go through all the way over here so I can actually initiate the screw attack. But see, like, we spent a lot more time pontificating over the possibilities, like, while looking at the map than I did actually just going there. Alright, let's advance then. Knowing that I could not have done anything else there, Means I have absolutely no reason to feel bad for not attempting it. Okay. You have like 2 years. It's definitely easy to... Whoa! Oh yeah, this... Can I freeze this thing? Okay. This is new, I guess. Oh, I still have to shoot him in the butt. He's got little teeth. He's got a little toothy mouth on his butt. So that's distressing. Does he have to like charge or something? I guess so. Oh, that doesn't look good. He's dealing quite a bit of damage too. I'm like almost dead. Oh, fuck. That dealt a lot of damage. I wasn't even sure. I was not expecting a fight there. No attack is unavoidable. I mean, I was definitely playing a bit fast and loose there. Okay, so the door up top was locked. Yeah, I figured as being a little like, ooh, let me drop down here. But no, okay, that's literally the only way you can go. Okay, so... I like this route. Oh, wow, okay. I did with the plasma, I guess there was not that much need to like actually... there was not that much need to actually like counter. Gotta do a little bit of finger gymnastics there to charge the beam while jumping and anime dashing. Sick. Did I fucking even hit him? It's fucking hard to avoid. Maybe charging the missile is better than charging the plasma. Where do I? All right, okay. Oh, that's the wrong button. Oh, nice, the bomb hit. He died. Cross bomb. Okay. That's a thing. I mean, that's a thing he did basically. So hold R. Oh, okay. So can you? Interesting. So can I boost? Can I use it to push myself horizontally? Why don't we find out? Okay, kind of, probably. That probably works to get some of those things. That's so cool. Like, you keep getting abilities that are like, oh, what's that? But you know that? You hear the noise, but there's no visual indication that you're placing that bomb instead of the regular bomb. So the holding the missile button and bombing is how you do a power bomb in some of the other games. So if the power bomb is a thing here, which I guess I don't know for sure. I wonder if I have to charge the button or something. That would seem the way they would do it. Okay, nice. Well, what do you know? We have to actually learn how to use this right away. Nice. I could very easily have missed that. Okay, I was kind of readjusting my position in a little clumsy way there, so. That's cool. That's kind of an interesting little traversal mechanic-y thing. Yeah, we're bomber girls. Yep. But yeah, it's cool. It's just a little nice convenience factor too. So let's shoot this so we actually have this door open now. And that should, I guess, just be open now, hopefully. Does it close? Or does it just... Actually, what does it say on the map now? Access open. Okay, so it's just a nothing thing. Okay. Well, that's yet another upgrade that we weren't exactly expecting or counting on, but... Okay, so we're seeing the bottom of this area here. I would say chances are decent that there's something up here. So I kind of want to... It's close enough that I don't want to check that out. I mean, we can obviously just do this, but the curved roof... Never mind, I was going to say, is that going to be a thing? There we go. Well, that looks like you could... Yeah, this seems obvious enough. It's going to be enough. Ah, one of these things. Well, I guess I can pull it open from over here. Hope that's correct. Nice. Oh, sick. Dude, I didn't think we got another 4 of these. But there you go. Yeah, like overall, I feel like the abilities are interesting and are used in interesting ways. And I guess I wouldn't have necessarily come across enough specific like instances of tricky combinations for it to specifically have left an impression. But having not thought about it, it does not surprise me at all. Like, it makes perfect sense that there's been, even when they're not being used in strange or unique or unusually compelling combinations, even by themselves, like it's nice. Oh boy, we can paint this. Can you imagine if this game like tracked map uncoverage? That'd be crazy. I mean, that would be terrible, but some people would really enjoy it. New train line. Oh shit! I don't know why I was expecting this to go someplace we'd been. I think I just expected that or assumed it because I knew that there's an Emmy untaken care of. But actually, before we... I was not expecting that. But we can actually go there. We can go to Frenia. I'm going to assume here that the game is not going to let us finish the game without defeating all the Emmys. So I don't expect going to find our ship and like piecing the fuck out is like the end of the game. Clearly we're going to have to destroy Dark, Claw, Raven, whatever. Fucking Birdland. Right, that much seems obvious. So I don't think traveling here is going to be some kind of a point of no return or anything. But I'm just like trying to piece together... Yeah, the Bird Lord. I mean, I don't know, maybe I feel like the Bird Monk is more of a Bird Lord, but... Yeah, it is worth noting here that there's... Nice, it's not actually uncovered because it didn't go there yet. I feel like there should be something on the top right also, like it's... Not that it has to be symmetrical, but it is so symmetrical otherwise that it feels like it would be strange. But there's one Emmy left in Ferenia, and I assume it would seem like, well, I guess if there is a final area on the right, then there wouldn't have to be one on the top area. But let's actually look. I guess, I mean, there's a frozen room here, but for all we know, there could be a football door somewhere or whatever, you know. I feel like the game would not nudge us towards a new area if it expected us to go back here. So I really don't think we... And if we're not expected, or like, if we're not supposed to, so to speak, go back here, then I think the game, like... I mean, I guess you never know. Apparently, you can do things in different orders and stuff. I was gonna say, if the game wants us to go to Hubert Land, whatever, surface place, then most likely it would block me from going here to finish this thing. But I don't know that that's true. That's what I would assume. But that's an assumption. Even so, I don't feel like the game generally is being very, like... I don't think the game, like, punishes you for following along with the kind of obvious note of where you could be going and what you could be doing. Also, 14% items. Man, there's a lot of shit that I have not grabbed yet, I guess. There's a lot to do here still, without doubt. But fuck it, let's at least get this new place on the map. Let's see what it's like. Do we get a new tile set? Are we gonna see the surface? Hanubia. Interesting, yeah. I really appreciate the way the game is, like, fairly consistently thrown on some level, like, curveballs, and like it never gets boring on account of being predictable and like samey and like stuff you've seen and done before. So we're getting some Criteria vibes here. I feel like the rain would have maybe been more effective if we hadn't seen the rain in the water area as like, oh shit, there's rain. I mean, we do see clouds back there. That's cool. But it's not that I would want them to remove the subterranean rain and ocean, because that was still sick. Okay, glass tunnel. Do we need a power bomb? I mean, this looks like it's gonna collapse sooner or later, right? And I feel like we should be part of that happening, whether we bomb the... Well, see, that could be a thing, right? We could be... Oh, nice, the ship is right there. Gunship. We could be going through, like... Having to fight those two guys in the next room would not be a shock. Maybe they brought some friends even, who knows? Although the game seems to struggle to handle two of those at once, let alone more of them. Maybe we will get the power bomb and we break this glass and we can do more here, and that is coincidentally also what's gonna let us get into that other Emmy area, or the central unit, whatever. Well, let's see what we got. Oh, okay. There's two doors on the right. I'm not sure if they were open.
Uploading data.
This area, Hanubia, is on the planet's surface. You find there is still a problem.
Made it.
Destroying the planet will eliminate the X-parasites. But Raven Beat's search for Metroid DNA poses a threat to the galaxy. You will never tire of searching for its location.
Alright, he's gonna Google Edgelord Birdman. Dark Raven Lord. So yeah, I mean the architecture and everything doesn't seem perhaps super unique so far. Like, doesn't necessarily feel like new tile set necessarily, but alright. Oh, press the wrong fucking button. Because I blew them up all messed. Okay, whatever. I figured that's something we don't have. Oh yeah, I think we saw this before. So what could that be? I guess the plasma, like, the plasma beam has replaced other beams. So if we were to get a beam upgrade, that would probably replace the plasma beam. The other lists are filling up, so I feel like the power bomb is probably what we have left here. But I don't think the purple is the power bomb. Who knows? I feel like we've probably got some power bombs coming up, but I'd be surprised if that's it. I'm sure there's more stuff that we have not seen or thought of yet. Of course. Oh wow, even when you're breaking it, you're kind of being pushed up along. Oh, let me grab that first. Okay, so 33% items. This is probably not a very big area, or at the very least, there's not a lot of items in it. See, I keep doing that. Like, I shoot the grapple beam, then I turn around, because I kind of forget that the grapple beam has, like, actual travel time. Like, it's not slow, but it's definitely not instantaneous. Oh yeah, I guess, yeah, wave beam, because I was thinking, like, what would you get after the plasma beam? I was like, well, it would be like the hyper beam, right? But, you know, I guess... I just think of that as because the plasma beam is like such a late upgrade. Oh, that's just how to get out. I see. In Super Metroid. And they kind of stack together. But we could be adding the wave beam effect to it or something. I don't know. Okay. Well, there wasn't a lot here to see right now. But we're gonna get a purple ability at some point. And we're gonna break the shit out of this. That's gonna, like, break the area open. So presumably this leads right back to Ferenia, so... I feel like this was absolute... Actually, this should lead right back into the... to the Emmy area. We're close to it, anyway. So it's very possible that we could have backtracked the entire way and ended up in the same position, just like taking a very roundabout way to get there. Although, that path would probably have allowed us to find some item that we're now missing because we were taking the shortcut. I mean, I can live with that, but... I wonder if that's a thing. Like, if you're talking about routing 100% run of this game, I wonder if that's going to mean deliberately, like, having to kind of avoid taking a lot of these shortcuts. Yeah, we're right here. That makes sense. Who knows? That reach? Guess not. Is there a screw attack block or a power bomb something or other? Yeah. Oh no, wow, it's even just one of those. Okay, so seems safe to assume that I'm gonna get some ability that's actually gonna hit that, and maybe that's the wave beam, actually. That would hit that thing. Actually, the Emmy, it shot purple things. It shot, it didn't shoot wave beam shots, it shot fucking Gradius donuts, basically. They were like these circles. Well, they're not. I mean, they're mother brain donuts, I guess. So whatever that is exactly, that's what we're gonna get from that Emmy. I mean, I guess it makes sense. We're not gonna get the gravity suit because we already have that, and we're not gonna get power bombs because it's not using anything like that, I guess. But yeah, it's interesting. We get like, I guess I didn't even think of it specifically. I didn't call it out when it first happened, but I mentioned last time how we're getting upgrades from a bunch of different types of things, and I didn't really think about it or mention it, but yeah, now we're starting to fight those big X bosses, and they are also giving us abilities just like they did in Fusion. But I think legitimately that's like so cool that this game really kind of feels like it's incorporating a lot of stuff from all of the other games. Like, you know, I mentioned how the Emmy kind of hit list reminds me of the Metroid, well, the Metroid hit list basically for Metroid 2, right? And you have other, like, you've got kind of callback bosses like Kraid. It's very new and different, but like, you know, you have the Metroids, you have the X, and you have, you know, it's funny, I guess, like the computer stuff. There's actually quite a bit of this that feels that incorporates more of Fusion, whether it's like specific mechanics or just kind of on a broader kind of general vibe sort of sense. I don't know. I as someone who's like a, let's call it a Fusion convert, like I never disliked it or anything, but I did not expect to really like it as much as I did when I replayed it now. I feel like it's a game, it's not just that like, hey, Fusion is cool, so I'm glad they're doing stuff that reminds me of it. That is a factor. But more specifically than that, it's a game that I would have, I would expect the general kind of consensus on Fusion to be, if not negative, at least like it's a game that has enough of a sort of checkered reputation that I would not have been super shocked for this game to play it more safe, I guess, and be more like Super Metroid. And I'm really glad that that's not the case, because I think, I don't know, it reminds me of Streets of Rage 4 when that was coming out. Like, my biggest fear and worry of Streets of Rage 4 was that it was going to feel like a rehash of Streets of Rage 2 with nothing really new. And I think in some ways there are certainly aspects of it that I think it rehashes certain things in a way that I wish was something newer and fresher, even though some of the new things it legitimately does add in terms of characters and stages and stuff are a little bit hit and miss. But the system mechanics and the overall feel and look of the game, for that matter, like Streets of Rage 4 definitely does not feel like a rehash of 2 or any of the previous games. Like it builds on it in a faithful way, but adds a lot. And I think that's true for this too. Like I think that the greatest sin a game like this could commit is being like, see, I guess it's more of a bubble than a donut, but and it's going through walls, so. And this game, I don't feel is playing it safe by any stretch, which is awesome. Oh, wow, okay, we're here already. I didn't even realize. So I wonder if... In fact, I would say this game also feels faithful in the ways that kind of matter. But you could say it's also faithful to the Metroid series. Willingness to kind of reinvent itself. Which, you know, whether, regardless of how you feel about specific games and specific aspects of them, I appreciate that. I think it's cool. And I think that's maybe why I like the Metroid games a lot, but am much less of a fan of the Metroid style genre as a whole. It's not the it's not the broad strokes of non-linear exploration and a series of locks and keys that is something I'm terribly excited about necessarily. It's more about the actual specifics of how it's executed, which the Metroid games have done well, but also have done in different ways. Oh yeah, right. So here's a question. I have a gravity suit. The Emmy was certainly able to catch up with Samus underwater, but it still was slowed down by the water. I mean, I guess on a straight line, Emmy would catch up with Samus just on land as well. So I feel like I should have a pretty distinct advantage. But if we still need like a straight stretch of ground, this would seem promising. Of course, the purple donut beam might throw a wrench in things. What? Okay. Also, I guess there's fucking no water anymore. Okay, well, I guess that would be too nice if we had to. Oh, fucking hell. The heck are we doing here? I mean, I would lock myself into that corner. Oh my god, okay. I need to make sure he's like actually chasing me there. Oh, of course he'll go through there to save some time. It's kind of funny. You see how wide the blocks are? Is this gonna fucking work? Oh my god. Oh, I fucked that up. Okay, well, he was smarter than me. I just saw him go, and I assumed he would go the way he did before. I'm glad at least you don't have to do that again. Oh, we have to do this, though. I mean, you don't have to, like, shoot the door open, but you still have to do this. Wait, hang on. It's like it almost locked on, like the game says that it does. It sucks that it doesn't actually do that. Like, when you first get the tutorial for the Omega Blaster, the game tells you that it will lock on to things. It does not. And I feel like the finicky aiming is so annoying. Like, if you're standing there and you're aiming to shoot at the enemy, you're not gonna want to do anything else. Like, I feel like the game could just give you that. Like, I don't really see why it couldn't. So if I pass through these shutter doors, like the place I was staying to fight the enemy was maybe not where I should have done that. I feel like I want to sort of study the map and the route, but it's going to be tricky. So, because this is going to be, you know, I can't go through there. At least if I get followed here and it doesn't show where the fucking thing is, but I can drop down and I can basically, I can loop around here endlessly, but I'm gonna have to fight it at some point. And I don't know. I mean, I guess this room should be large enough for me to jump over it if this is open, but I forget exactly. I guess I'm not gotta make sure not to land on the shutter platforms. This is one of those roof ceiling things, but like, maybe I can stand here, and if these are open, I should have an open enough. Fucking hell. Oh shit, that opened again. But I don't know about getting out of here. Maybe I don't have to. Okay. Because I was like assuming that I wouldn't have enough time to do that. But when I saw how far away and how easy enough it was to actually hit him, I took the risk and it paid off. All right, donut beam. Here we go. Maximum purple. This was a lot easier and a lot less annoying than the previous one. Here we go. Wave beam. Did we get a purple glow on our gun that we didn't have before? Yeah, there we go. Wave beam. It's just funny that, like, it's... The wave beam is an upgrade from plasma. I mean, it sure is purple, but maybe it was before. Oh, that's kind of... Well, we were shooting green things, so I think it was actually glowing green. So now we got... green and purple, which kind of looks a little disgusting. That's still cool. Yeah, the ice Emmy is like by a pretty significant margin the worst one. Okay. I mean, it's kind of interesting. It's hitting the wall, but it's also passing through. I mean, the wave beam ability of shooting through walls is like pretty fucking powerful. So it's not in terms of this game and its like internal logic and consistency. There's absolutely no issue with this ability coming later. Again, it just breaks convention a little bit, which is interesting. I like it. It makes it unpredictable, because if everything is the same it ever was, you know exactly what to expect. But when you start second guessing whether something is in the game or not, because like, well, if that's in the game, surely I would have it by now, and you kind of well, maybe not write off, but like you sort of at least entertain the idea that the wave beam is maybe not in the game. And now you get it. It's like, oh shit, yeah. Of course, it was telegraphed. Both, we saw this block right here, and I determined that it was shooting purple donuts that went through the wall. So when we got it, it's like, fuck yeah, it's the wave beam, of course. But it wasn't a foregone. Like, we had to do a little bit, a very slight bit of mental puzzle solving. I guess, to determine it. The slightly disgusting look is accidentally in the spirit of fusion. Sure. Yeah, there's just something about that like, green and purple go well together, but when it's this bright and the way it's like... I feel like this specific look of this projectiles, it's like something... I don't know, it's like... I don't know why I keep thinking of, like, vomit or something. It doesn't look like vomit, obviously, but there's like something slimy and disgusting about this like green kind of snot green blob covered in this like weirdly toxic looking goop. I don't dislike it. It looks... it doesn't look as cool, maybe, as the regular plasma shot. But it does look kind of more... It looks like an upgrade. It looks like more is happening, so I like it. Oh, we've had the screw attack for quite a while. We've been getting, like, a ton of updates, or upgrades. We've got the cross bomb. And we got the wave beam now. I like the way it looks, by the way. Like, it looks different when it's passing through the solid. Like, that's the thing. Like, I really like how the 2D-ness of this game still, like, comes through. I do think sometimes the map design, the complexity of the map and how it folds in on itself and how, like, you sometimes lose... The way you can kind of discover things in adjacent rooms on the map when you don't exactly expect it to. I mean, the game's kind of designed around it. It's not particularly an issue. But it feels a little funky. But in terms of, like, you know, the game doesn't shy away from having tiles and blocks and whatnot. So, like, I do think that part's all done well. So there happens to be something over here. I don't know, don't remember why exactly I didn't stop to find what it was, but we could check it for now. Obviously, we're kind of being routed back here to go to Hanubia, in which I don't remember what stopped us, but surely there's going to be something like that. Yeah, there's a purple door, of course. I keep... Like, you press B, and you just go back to the game. I expect B to go back one step into the menu, and then I would press the start button to go back. But hey, that's better than the opposite, where pressing start does not immediately go back to the game, and you have to back through multiple steps in pause menus. That shit drives me nuts. Oh yeah, by the way, I keep forgetting. I was gonna say, next time I have, like, trouble in a boss fight, I should remember that I have this, which will give me, I think it gives me 100 health. So at this stage, I can once a day, I can refill my health to cover about half of one attack from the boss. But at least that would be the one instance where it actually helps any amount. Anyway, yeah, surely we're meant to go back there, but I'm kind of tempted to... We have some areas here that are reasonably easy to check. All right, so here's the football block, the earlier ones we found, I think. So that's not going to help us. Yeah, 100 energy doesn't mean much, for sure. Well, who knows? This could be a fucking piece of heart or something down here. I don't remember... how or why we didn't get it. I probably didn't, like, really pay attention. Wow, slow down. Or not slow down, really, but frame drops. Wait, where the fuck am I? Oh, it's to my right. Okay, wait. Never mind, there's something... Oh! Ah. Alright, okay. I can just do that, I guess. Wait, what the fuck? Oh, no, okay, actually, this is probably enough, actually. Yeah. Well, that block's gone now. Wait, what the? Oh yeah, the speed booster block also is permanently gone. Right. That's. See, that's interesting. That changes some of these things a lot, because I can store this and I can roll through, and I can do this, and I can do. Yeah. Okay. Wow, that's quite a lot to do, but it seems straightforward enough. So I think we can give it a shot at least. It's kind of hard to click the stick, like, immediately when you start moving. First try. Nice. I feel pretty good. I've not gotten any... I have the cross bomb. No power bombs yet. But it looks like we're getting some kind of additional bomb. So the cross bomb we got from a big ol' X-alien crab thing, which was like a more powerful version of an enemy we fought before. And it shot these weird projectiles that spawned like these pulses of... It wasn't exactly bombs, but it behaved in the same way in this like cross-shaped patterns. And it did a shit ton of damage. You do that by holding the missile button when you're placing a bomb. You hold R. It's a little hard. There's a lot of noise going on, but like you can hear a little noise. Which is when I'm holding R, and then I plant the bomb. It looks a little different, and we can use that. We can use it to kind of power across gaps in tunnels and stuff. That my immediate wondering there was just, I wonder if that means that when I get the power bomb, which I assume is in the game, I would have to hold R for like a second before placing the bomb. And if that's the case, I sure fucking hope you place it and it blows up like instantly. I hate having to wait for power bombs. Anyway, we got a little missile there, but I think clearly it seems safe to assume that whatever's hidden here is behind this block. And I don't really necessarily feel like trekking further than that, so I guess we'll go to Hanubia and maybe... Oh, there's one... Okay, so there's one Emmy left. Either that is in Hanubia, or there is, in fact, another area. I guess this is where I'm... Yeah. So getting to the ship is gonna be helpful in some way or another, I'm sure. But we still have to fight Dark Raven Claw Beak, man. And it seems unlikely that the game's gonna let us finish, unless it's some bizarre sequence break thing. Maybe allow is not the right word, but I don't think the game expects us to finish. I don't expect to finish without having defeated every Emmy. So that means that there's one more to find. So we picked up one missile, I think, and that was 33% of upgrades in Hanubia. So I don't know geographically how large this area is. The Emmy areas, granted, don't typically seem to contain a bunch of secrets or anything. But there's seemingly not a lot of pickups here. Does that mean that there's... Oh, fuck that up. Oh, shit. Oh, haha. Well, we gotta fight some of those dudes, that's for sure. What's up, Joestar? I'm liking this game quite a bit. I have my misgivings about certain parts of it. But by and large, I've been enjoying it quite a bit. I was definitely... It starts off a little bit slow, kind of. Like, it's... I like it better as we've kind of gone further into it. Wait, what the heck? There are blocks there, but they're within... Okay, well, maybe that's a power bomb kind of a thing. Oh, okay. Well, we'll worry about that later. It's really long, but it's not poorly paced. It's long and the map is huge, but it's been surprising. Okay, so are any of these guys familiar old friends? We got Braid, you know? I feel like it's a missed opportunity to not see some other old favorites. What's going on here? Was she going to yank its fucking heart out, but she thought better of it? Or was she... What's going on there? So can we get some Samus inner monologue? Oh, one of these big lore dump cutscenes, huh? I don't exactly understand what was going on there with her hand, but... Oh, there's an Emmy area right there, so that lets us know right there, I suppose. I guess that answers that about the final Emmy. I was thinking that... Oh, I wonder if that has a power bomb. Don't tell me, obviously. Oh, maybe there's not as much left as I... Well, I guess there isn't. I don't know. There wouldn't be that much left because there's only one Emmy left. We certainly have certain areas that we have not yet gone to, so we might still be doing one more. Well, I guess it shouldn't call it detour, but one more major trek through the inner sections of the planet. But we're gonna basically. Oh, well, he's got a power bomb. Okay. Is Metroid gonna help us? Okay. Well, that was like automatic. Her hand. Okay, we're getting an explanation to what's going on here. Maybe this isn't quite the typical Emmy encounter. Well, that's nice. I didn't have to deal with that, I guess. Alright, get good Metroid music. Are we becoming fucking self-aware? What's going on here? Alright, we'll deal with this guy first. See, that was surprising. Dude, I'm fighting one of these guys and I'm still getting frame drops. Oh, I could have countered that. Well, whatever. Phase 2. Wow, there's a shit ton of frame drops, like, constantly, basically. Maybe my Switch is overheating, I don't know. Why did I do that? Oh, I'm, like, aiming to land right in the goop, but... Anyway. Not too big a deal. So what the heck happened there? See, as far as the suit upgrades, her shoes they don't look as cool now either. It's just like the overall silhouette of her legs and feet is similar, but there's a little bit of a contrast between her. Like there wasn't quite the seamless transition from her calves to her feet with the older suits. I thought it looked cooler. Well, there we go. There's our power bomb. Hold R to charge. Yep. Set it once fully charged. Destroy football blocks. Man, so there's nothing particular about it, but I feel like we must have accidentally done some kind of a sequence break or something on a small scale to get that first power bomb ammo upgrade. Like I feel like there was nothing like special about it really. We just happened to have something we couldn't use yet and now we can. Oh, is this where we get the lore dump? No? I'm glad we didn't get a big lore dump, by the way, but I'm kind of curious what was going on there. But yeah, anyway, I was thinking at some point that, I don't know, I just had this kind of idea that Raven Man was someplace else and not here. it does blow up faster. That's nice. Wow, it even blew up all the way over here. That's nice. Okay, so the power bomb is... Okay. Got some quality of life upgrades, too. I like it. But anyway, yeah, like I was... You know, we killed the last Emmy. Our ship is over there. Like, we might be super close to the end. I wonder if... Yeah, that's not going to show... Let's try it. Yeah, setting power bombs is definitely way faster. Well, not even setting them. The time between setting it and it going off. Or deciding to set a power bomb and then setting it and then having it go off. It's all faster. Oh yeah, the central unit is destroyed without us even getting here. Kind of unusual. But what a nice change of pace. See, normally I would lay a power bomb here, but we actually only have one right now. Yeah, this area doesn't, like, funnily enough, the surface, like, this kind of special area, it's not, well, special, I don't know. It's not that distinct, but at least we get the sky and rain. I mean, it's cool. I think the visuals overall in this game are nice. My biggest complaint, like, starting the game, the first couple of areas are so much, like, they're so samey. There's nothing... It's not until you get the fourth area, which is, like, the water area, that there's any kind of identity to it. But once you get to the water area and the plant area and the temple area, like, then that issue kind of becomes a lot less of an issue. But it's still kind of weird. There's definitely some aspects to the world design in this game that I think is a little bit weak. Both kind of compared to some other Metroid games, but also compared to other parts of this game. But I think the movement and the combat and the abilities, the overall pacing, like, dealing with the Emmys usually is actually pretty fun. Like, it's tense, but it's not that bad. And all the things they've done with very generous checkpointing at the boss fights and stuff, like, I think the challenge level has been just right. I still feel like Fusion was probably the harder game, but they're pretty similar. I think the difference is Fusion, throughout the game, every regular enemy felt like a threat, and regaining health is much more of an issue. Like, in this game, there's only been, like, very few instances where I'm kind of walking around wherever with low health and being concerned about where to fill it back up. That happened, like, there was, like, one very specific instance in Fusion where you had to go between, like, 2 or 3 save points on, like, sub 100 health. That was a bit extreme. But, like, worrying about health and being, like, grateful for, oh, like, we made it back to the hub and there's a recharge station, I can actually fill up my health, we're good. Like, that hasn't, like, the recharge stations are super frequent here, and 9 times out of 10 when I come across one, I only activate it by accident because I'm standing still because I'm talking to you guys, and it's like, oh, okay, sure, I guess I'll fill it up. So the difficulty level is, like, very concentrated to the boss fights, which I'm okay with, I guess. It's not that I want or need the game to be harder, but I think comparing it to Fusion, like, they have similar spikes, and the boss fights taking a couple of attempts to kind of learn the strategy and figure out the boss, that is reminiscent. Like, the boss fights, my experience learning to overcome the bosses is a lot closer to Fusion than any of the other games we played. Yeah, that's the thing, like, the Emmy areas, I agree, like, it's a bit of an issue because I understand, and I think it's important that they do what they do, where they communicate visually. Like, I like that you have very clear doors, entrances, and exits. the film grain effect and everything to signify that the enemy is after you. Like, I think that all works, but it is counterintuitive, or not counterintuitive, but it's counterproductive to the goal of establishing distinct areas that are memorable. And because one of the issues I have is not just from an aesthetic point of view that, like, Praeteria and Brinstar and Norfair, Meridia and the Ghost Ship, whatever, like, they're all kind of different. Torian, like, the areas in Super Metroid are all distinct. Fusion obviously have the super distinct, like, biomes. And even AM2R, the borders between each areas are a little more fuzzy. You don't, like, take elevators to different areas with a sign saying, like, welcome to Torian or whatever. But you still, once you get to the power station, you get to the temple, you get to this and that, like, there is still, like, it's this place. I recognize or I understand this is a location. This game feels much more like it's just a section of, like, it's just room after room after room after room, and there's very few memorable locations. There's not a lot of rooms you remember, and I think that's partially because they're similar in shape, they're similar in complexity, like geometric complexity. There's way more of them. There's a lot more rooms, and I think there's more to the distinguishing aspects of a room than, like, its color and whether it's rock or metal, you know. And I think there's individuality and texture to a lot of locations in the other games that is not as distinct in this game. And I think that's compounded by the geographical kind of layout being more complex, leading to a map that is much, much harder to mentally keep track of. So the map itself is too complex to really map mentally. In the same way you can kind of, like, oh yeah, I feel like Norfair is this way, kind of, in Super Metroid or whatever. Like, to me, that, like, doesn't come across here. But that's not only because the map design, like, the rooms have more complex shapes. I think it is also because you have both many different ways of traversing from one area to another, but also when you transition, when you take an elevator, when you take a train, you are immediately detached from the physical space of the game because you transition into this cutscene. Like, comparing to Super Metroid or any of the previous 2D Metroids, you step on an elevator, you travel upwards or downwards, and the map, the abstracted connection between areas on the map is matched one-to-one with the physical connection between the areas in the game space. And I think that helps a lot. Not to mention that when you're traveling from one area to another, you're always doing it the same way. You might have two different elevators, but by and large, like, there are those connections, so you know. And I feel like you probably, you know, some might see this as a positive, that, like, you're not really backtracking in this game. You're not really retracing your steps. You're taking different ways around. You're coming back to places you've been before, but you're coming from a different direction. You're leaving a different direction. But having a little bit of backtracking, or a little bit of, like, if you're exploring and doing stuff in Super Metroid, I think you're fairly likely to take the same elevator back and forth quite a few times. And if you were to also consider the simple maths of the number of trips you take compared to the number of different elevators there are, I think you are using each elevator more times than you are using them here, which helps create that sense of familiarity when you're going back and forth. Even if it's because you're a little bit stuck and you don't know where to go exactly, I feel like you gain sort of automatically. And I say that as someone who has a fucking terrible sense of direction. I stop to look at the map every 2 seconds. I will still learn to maybe not confidently find my way, but at least have an association of how the spatial relationship between landmarks and areas that I recognize. And I think in this game, I only have that in an abstract sense, looking at the map, and I can see when a line connects from the bottom of one area to the top of another. Like when we went from Cuberia or whatever it's called to from Berenia to the Emmy room. Like, oh yeah, this is going to take us near there because I see where that is on the map. But it doesn't like feel that way. It doesn't, if that makes sense. I wouldn't, like if I didn't see that on the map and I just physically went down there, I wouldn't go, oh shit, it's connecting this way, I get it. Because I don't have that association with how those spaces are physically connected to one another. So I think the game definitely loses something there. And I don't know exactly what the solution is. I think maybe even something as simple as keeping the elevators more within the game space, like have a physical platform that you jump onto and have stay in the game's visual and rendering style while scrolling upwards for a screen or two before you cut to the cinematic. Make sure that like in 2D space that they are physically connected. I feel like that might help a little bit. But even then, it's just the sheer size and complexity of the map, I think, makes that really difficult. And, you know, from a ease of use, you know, quality of life kind of standpoint, obviously having more ways to travel makes it a little easier to get from point A to point B. But again, that's like, that is a fix to another problem of the, like, to remove an inconvenience of having to travel manually, so to speak. But yeah, the teleporters also don't help because, I mean, they help with getting you from point A to point B, but they certainly don't help with making you create a connection. Like, I don't know, you can take a teleporter from one area to another area, and the tile set in both rooms or in both areas are like the same, and you have no sense of, like we talked about this before too, right? The thematic idea of going from deep underground to reach the surface. Like, none of the areas, I mean, there's caves and stuff, but there's like lakes and there's what looks like volcanoes. There's rain and weather. It doesn't feel like you're getting closer to the surface. It doesn't feel, any one of these areas could be, you could be told that they're outdoors and you'd believe it, you know? So that's kind of weird too. I think there's like an aesthetic, thematic, and mechanical, like, shortcomings. Like, there's slight issues on all sides that make the map a little less memorable, a little less easy to navigate and intuit the layout and whatever. And I think for sure that's the area where this game falls short compared to the other Metroid games. And it's not an insignificant part, but it's not a deal breaker either. It's like, and I'm thinking like, that's one of those things where when you already have a greater sense of what areas and regions are in the game and how they connect, I wonder if I will feel differently about that stuff the next time I play it. I don't feel unfair for giving the game a hard time about it because I was playing Fusion essentially blind. I was playing AM2R blind, and I did not have that kind of impression of those games at all. Like, I'm comparing really more to them than I am to Super Metroid because that's a game I'm more familiar with. But even those games, playing them kind of the first time, I didn't have, I mean, Fusion is like super duper ultra straightforward with the numbered sectors and everything, but it works. I think it's nice. Like, it doesn't create any kind of confusion. Whereas this, it kind of certainly does. I think I've seen a few people mention, I think, the idea of these, the foreground, like, being black and that being kind of an issue. I haven't, like, it hasn't occurred to me at all. Like, the only time I think of it is when people mention it. I can see how that is real estate on the screen that could hypothetically be dedicated to putting color or texture or something that could contribute to making things more visually distinct. But I don't know that that's an issue, really. Like, I'm like, because the individual styles and tile sets of the brownish reddish temple area, the Meridia but cooler, the underground water lab, the Emmy rooms, like, they're all completely distinct. And I think it would more, like, what would help them be more distinct would be more about the geography of how the rooms using those tile sets are constructed, so you make sure that they're not completely like all cookie cutter, the same shape, just different colors. And I don't think, like, I think the readability being good is more important than there being detail by, like, simply put, I think leaving that space blank is, I don't see it as an issue. I don't see it, period. Like, I don't think about it, really. Anyway, let's play some video games.
The Metroid DNA inside you must have fully awakened.
Does DNA awaken?
As a result of this tremendous power is the last thing you require. I have detected a fortress in the sky.
Okay.
Time has come, Samus.
Wow. Okay, that was silly. That was very, very contrived, that the writing there. So now we can blow this up and we can go there and we can go fight the final boss. So, yeah, Metroid can now crawl. Wow, so this is like full on zero mission. You get the power bomb 2 seconds before the final boss. Well, even if we could finish the boss first try, like, I had already intended to cut the stream a little bit early. And we're now 6 minutes away from my regular stream ending time, so we shall wait, hang on. We have the power bomb, so let's go back in here and see if we can do that real quick. Those are speed booster blocks. Okay. What the heck? What the actual heck? Well, there's probably more of them. I was like, oh, this is gonna discover something interesting, but I mean, I guess it did. Anyway, let's save. So whenever we boot this up next time, we will have the save file on the main menu here, and it'll give us an idea of, well, an idea. It'll tell us straight up our collection ratio and time. So, needless to say, we were going to be able to finish this game, but given that we are, I mean, I shouldn't assume that we're 2 seconds away from the final boss. There's like, we're supposed to go to a temple in the sky or some shit. Is that what he said? So it might not be like in the next room, but it's not going to be like 6+ hours left of the game, meaning we'll be able to finish this on Saturday. I don't know for a fact, but I hope that I will be getting my action figure shipment from BBTS tomorrow, in which case it seems fairly conceivable that we could finish this game and then unbox some action figures on Saturday. But I don't know. If I don't get them tomorrow, then maybe I will take a little bit of extra time to explore more of the map, because this seems like the time to do it, if ever. I'm sorry with to draw this game, so I keep missing Saturday streams. I'll drop this now. Alright. I have been hard at work on my Super Metroid drawing. Those of you who are regulars on Discord will have seen some updates there. Yeah, the first suit is pretty sick, so I'll enjoy drawing that. I will definitely be looking to finish the Super Metroid artwork. I might finish it tomorrow, depending on how busy I am with other stuff. But I got a few hours to put into that. It's coming along pretty well. So the once horrifically dreadful big ass pile of drawing requests is thinning out a little bit, but still it's still keeping me busy. Oh, you're having some Discord trouble, huh? Sorry to hear that, but you'll at the very least be able to see the finished piece soon enough. But anyway, yeah, I will be back on Saturday and we'll wrap up Metroid Dread, and maybe we will unbox some action figures, maybe we will not. Maybe we will loop back around to some demos and stuff that we didn't get to when I did that one demo stream. There's some other games I would have wanted to check out there. Some Mega Drive demos and such as well, which I mentioned, I think. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. If I do get that action figure shipment tomorrow, I'll probably gonna want to do that. We'll see. But we'll definitely finish Metroid Dread, and I'm looking forward to it. This, yeah, this game is growing on me for sure. I never disliked it, but I'm having a more positive outlook on it now than I did in the beginning. That's for sure. Anyway, thanks very much for hanging out, guys. I hope you guys have a nice rest of your Thursday evening, and I hope to see you guys on Saturday. I will figure out someone to host as we wrap up here, and thank you very much for hanging out. Take care, everybody, and see you next.